Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Welcome aboard. This is what we do on Mondays and Wednesdays, starting at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, live from a planet called Milwaukee. Once upon a time called right now. I am Kevin Barnes, the mouthpiece of the movement, the militant with a microphone, aka the Negro Whisperer in the building. I'm not alone. I know the crew will come along as we get the thing and get the ball rolling. But I'm also happy to have, I could say, my partner here, right? A friend of the show, an outlaw, if you will. My brother, tell these people who you are and what you do.
Vince Tony. I think I came on the show before and talked about the alderman race, and uh, kind of going to go over that again tonight. I'm in the Garden Homes area, District 1. Initially, we had 11 people that are running, then it went down to 5, and now it's down to 2. We've got Andrea Pratt and David Bowen. So, the sad thing about it, and the irony is that we've got, I think in 1992 2019 numbers, there were like 30,000 people in the district, and about 20,000, close to 20,000 are adults. 2016 we had 9,000 people voted. 2020 we had 4,000 people voted, and then last week we had less than 3,000 people that voted in the district.
Okay,
So,
so like you said, you ran for alderman in the first district. Like
mhm,
so I want to catch people up. There was, like you said, there's these automatic vacancies, and you decided to run again, and you've run before.
mhm,
And they're now I want to talk about the people who actually won.
mhm,
So we want to talk about is it Andrea Pratt and
and David
David
Bowen.
Bowen, right?
Yes.
There's some things about this election that I want to talk about, but let me make sure. Let me holler at my chat room. Erica Hunt, she said, "Hey, Kevin Barnes, how you doing, my sister? Listen, there's a phone number associated with what we do here, and that phone number is 262-202-5131. Once again, it's 262-202-5131. We also have a chat room. If you really want to support me, there's a couple ways. If you want to get the apparel, inbox me, holler at me. If you want to come on, hit me up. You got something you want to promote, something you want the people to know about, just inbox me, man. It's all around the inbox, and you can always hit the cash app. So we're normally on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until about 9:30, or whenever we choose to cut the machine off. Sharon Evans, she said, "What's going on, Outlaws? Oh, my chat room is heating up, as they say." Shout out to the homie, to the brother Ruben Anderson. He said, "Evening. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Share the show. Share the show. It's Outlaw Radio live. It's not live from the basement. It's Law and Order. Is because we try to be a little thematic on Wednesday nights, and I have Vince Tony here, so we're going to talk about some community affairs and some politics in the city. So if this is the kind of
Politics.
thing you politics, if you will, thank you, Vince. So if this is your bad, then tell your people, hey, this is the show I was talking about. I said all that to say Vince ran for alderman, but and so he didn't get through the primary. David Bowen is very interesting to me because I'm not sure if David Bowen. I know he wasn't living in that district when I lived over there. I grew up over there, so I don't know if he lives over there now.
Well,
Also,
let me say this, Kev. He's got an address over by Perkins on 20th. He's got an address over there in an apartment.
okay.
So I'm like you. I'm a bit suspect, and one of the reasons I'm suspect, if he lives in that area, that's one of the filthiest areas in the city. I mean, in the district.
Shout out to Jessica Trace. Welcome to the show. She said it's her first time watching. Let us know how we do. I'm always up for constructive criticism, and I want to represent the city as best as possible. So if you want to call in, please. Other than that, please enjoy the show. Oh, Dion James, what it do, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Sharon Evans said, "Hi, Vincent. Hello, Vincent." Vincent Tony is his name. We got some late entries to the affair tonight. Mr. Carter, what's popping with you, man? Is he froze? Real, you good? You
Peace,
good to go?
Yep, I'm good. Peace, everybody.
man.
Okay.
Life, how y'all doing?
All right, man. You a little skippy. Your audio a little sketchy right now, son. Right now, son. Your audio is sketchy. But so we got Vince Tony. Now we got the witch doctor in the building. We got Real here. It's Outlaw Radio, Law and Order. So I was talking about somebody let me know because it didn't seem like David Bowen did a lot to win this election. I still have never even heard him speak. So and the people say, well, he was a state rep. You should have heard him then. I'm saying, was there a situation where he spoke in the district to the people? Because he got votes, obviously. So because I'm like, I don't see signs. How did this happen?
Kevin, Milwaukee is a very unique place when it comes to elections. And I think we talked earlier. We had 9,000 voted in 16. We had 4,000 voted in 2020, partly because the COVID, and then the other part is they closed down 115 polling stations and they left disenfranchised voters. This time, less than 3,900. So what I'll say, Kevin, is that I got out of the Navy in 1986 and I moved to District 1 in 1992. So I've been here the whole time. And what I can tell you is that the people in this community are untrustworthy. They don't trust the system. They don't trust the people. So there's a very small group, a cohort of people that are in this district that are going to come out and vote all the time. And mostly it's in Marvin Pratt's area because that's who he's favoritism and that's who he's taking care of. He hasn't taken care of the rest of the district like he's taking care of his. So that's
But we saying that too. Let's be fair though, Vince. He's also not been in office for a very long time.
exactly his
So
protege. So he was in office for 18 years. Ashanti Hamilton was in office for 14 to 16 years. So he was his protege. So he taught him. Now we've got Andrea Pratt, who worked in Ashanti's office for 2 years under his tutelage. So we've got more of the same. So we've got all these people that are supposed to be helping the community that haven't been doing a whole heck of a lot. And I reviewed. There's very few people that, and it's getting worse in this city, that vote for these elections because they've been disenfranchised. They don't feel like the system's going to work because it hasn't worked for them. It hasn't worked for Garden Homes. I mean, we still got the hotspot. We still got killings and shootings over there that Marvin Pratt or Ashanti Hamilton did absolutely zero about.
right, okay. Let's pause right there. For the people that are in the chat room, I want to make sure I'm keeping up with them. Jessica Trey says it makes no sense. She said, haven't do anything and things are getting worse. Kamar, I want to make sure you got your audio straight, homie. You good now?
Peace, peace. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. You sound a lot
Yeah,
better
yeah.
now. Yeah, you were speaking in Spanish. I'm gonna start getting a little
Yeah.
little
Hey, man,
translator
I
on
don't know
here.
what it is, man. I guess I got to give me a newer computer, man. It take a second for it to warm up. So if
Yeah, man. Ain't supposed to have no
I'm
antenna on your
running late to the
computer.
show and I just jump right on, I get that action. You know what I'm saying?
Rail, what's good with you, man? What's good with you?
Chilling, man. A little tired, but I'm thugging through it.
Okay, okay. You wasn't with us Monday, not to call you out, but we had a great
Yeah.
show. We had a good
I
time.
was knocked out then. That's the thing, man. I started back working out, and I've been working out for like 3 weeks now, and it seemed like just this week, man. And then I've had to go into the office this week. So yeah, Monday shit, I was in bed and didn't wake up till 3 in the morning, and then was like, oh well, shit. I guess that's what it is.
That's all it can be, right?
Yeah.
Jessica Trace agrees with Vince. The hotspot is a very dangerous store. Yes, it is, and been that way for a long time.
Yeah.
Tiarsha Arthur says, "Good evening, Kev, Kamar, Rail, and Vince, and the
Peace.
Outlaw
Peace.
family. How you doing, my sister?" She said, "You must have borrowed the flip phone at first, Kamar. You had the flip phone." So listen, once again, feel free to jump into the conversation if it so suits you. I appreciate it. I don't mind reading the comments, but we love to hear from people. 262-202-5131. Okay, so Vince,
Mhm.
I want to move in a different direction, right? Because especially in the first district, because we talked about Marvin Pratt, obviously there's some influence. hasn't been in like really in office for a very long time, was a professor at UWM. Ashanti was his own animal. He was a protege, but he was himself. Like he was moving a certain way, right? And to be honest with you, there was a sense that he would eventually be the first black mayor.
Yeah. And
And see, I want people to understand in Milwaukee, energy shifted because for a very long time, especially when the brother became president of the Common Council, people assumed he's next up. He's next in line. He had the quote unquote community with him. Something along the way, right, changed. And all of a sudden, not only did he not step down, I mean, not only step down from the president of the Common Council, he left altogether. All of a sudden, there's this ascension of the Mayor Johnson, who was being groomed in the background. Anywho, I understand that, but he's a rise to power to the point where he's now the mayor, right? And so I don't want to just put I don't want to just put things on Pratt or on Ashanti because they're both gone. I want to talk about who's actually running things right now, right?
well,
Like,
who's running things? I guess if you can look at their campaign finance reports, Kevin, there's a lot of history in garden homes. I've been here for 30 years almost, and if you think Marvin Pratt is not still in it, then that's naivety because he is. His I in 2020, I said, Marvin, I went to his house. Can I have your endorsement? Well, I can't have his endorsement. He said, I can't endorse you because my daughter works for Ashante Hamilton at the alderman's office. So there's some push and pull there, definitely. And when I look at their campaign finance report, I see the Daniels, I see Abley, and I see these type of people, these that are running this. This is, I've summed it up in Garden Homes and the things that have been done over here with the people here, and Pratt being involved. So when we were down at the Common Council advocating against the Hotspots liquor license being renewed, we had a lady that gave a testimony, and Marvin Pratt came to her house that night to advocate for the hotspot. So he's
right,
involved in
right,
this community.
but okay, but once again, see, there's a change here that we got to pay attention to. Now, let me read this. Erica Hunt says David was out in the community getting known to the people while he marched. I think he earned the community trust while protesting the last 3 years. Congratulations, David, on the win. Talking about David Bowen. Listen, no doubt, but hold on. Hold on, though, Erica. That's all cool. But I'm saying if you didn't even campaign, like if you just got if people just voted for you because you are a familiar name without you
That's
ever having
Milwaukee.
to define to well, Kamar says he want to hear the solution, right? So he didn't come with that I know of. And if you heard him give some answers, please let me know. If I didn't hear him say, okay, this is what I plan to do. Here are the major issues in that district. This is what I plan to do. If he did that, let me know. But I feel like he won it without even doing anything. So that means people voted blindly.
Yes.
And that's the only concern. It's not about him winning, because congratulations to him winning. Because I can tell you he's been on the scene for a lot more shit than I have. Right. So far be it from me to, you know what I'm saying? On,
So
on, some, on,
Kevin, let
some,
me
on
say, let
some
me
real, on some real, on some real. I'm just saying, um, it's funny to me that people in Milwaukee, and I think the low voter turnout has more to do with somebody like Marvin Pratt being able to exercise influence for 20 years more so than him being like a benevolent individual who's sitting in his house like a mad scientist, like, I'm running an evil empire in District 1. Like, because a lot of times when we criticize people as politicians, we make them seem like bad human beings, like he's a slime ball. He might just not be a good leader. I don't know. I don't know him personally. I'm
Well,
just pitching in
I
the
can
wind.
tell you what they've done for our community. They haven't
Okay.
done anything. I've been at meetings when I first moved into the neighborhood, where Marvin Pratt come to the meetings and ask us what do we want across the street from the on the Century building on 27th and Hope. We want houses there.
Absolutely.
Well, he put developers in there. So he's not, and he's never been for the people in this community. Neither has Ashante Hamilton. Nothing's progressing as we've had numerous companies that have left this company under both of their leaderships and nothing's came back.
but neither one of them have been in office for a while. They're gone.
Well,
They're
Ashanti just left.
gone.
Well, we haven't had an alderman since August of last year.
Right, but Pratt hasn't been the alderman since the early 2000s. So I think, like, okay, so I guess
Let
my
me say
point
this,
is this.
Kevin. Marvin Pratt is the liaison between the common council and the community. He has that position. That's why at the hotspot hearing, he went to the lady's house to talk to her. And she says, this man has never been to my house before. Marvin Pratt is involved in this community. I've been here for many years, and I know exactly what he's doing and what these people are doing
I'm
in this
not saying
community.
he's not involved. I'm not saying he's not involved. I'm saying it's a whole new regime that's in charge right now in 2023. There's some different things going on in the city today than were going on then, because right now we're looking at this corporate takeover. So this force feeding of gentrification that's finna fall on us. All that, I feel like everything, all that stuff is, I understand that, but I'm saying we need to insulate ourselves to fight what's finna come right now. And so what's about to come right now is a city that's basically been bought and sold. Milwaukee is being marketed right now across this country as a destination, a place you want to come in the summer. We want people to enjoy the lake, the parks, the stadium, the art museum, the Calatrava. We have Summerfest. You can't get all that done when you got a bunch of knucklehead nappy Negroes running around taking people's cars and shit. So how do you clean that up? Well, you ain't gonna do it through social reform. You do it through gentrification, which means we're gonna make it so expensive for you to live down here that you will no longer do so. And well, they went up too high on my goddamn rent. I got to get the fuck up out of here. Where you going, Wauwatosa? Right? It seemed like they're ushering you off into camps, poverty camps, right? And so, Vince, I'm not in any kind of way getting past. I understand. You and I have spoken so deep, not just knee deep, totally deep. So I totally
Yeah.
understand the Pratt thing and all that. But I want to know what we can do with what's about to happen to us now.
So you're talking about the city now. You're not talking about the district. So we got 15 districts. You're talking about the city. So you've
I'm
got
talking about the
15.
city.
So you've got a common council group of 15 members that answer to are supposed to keep the mayor in line. So if everybody's bought and sold into this plan that they've devised, as you're saying, that the corporate plan, then there's nothing that can be done. It's mission accomplished.
Mm. Shout out to Shane Kruma. He said, "Peace, outlaws. How you doing, my brother?" Ernest Walker said, "Got my zip up. Happy to support the show. Man, I got him out there, man. Dope, man. Shout out to my wife, man. She did her thing on them on them hoodies, man. For real, for real. And y'all can holler at me. Zip ups, the classic pullover joints, the t-shirts. I'm going into some other stuff, man, because I appreciate the support. So let me see. Let me get my. She said marching is one thing, being concerned about the community for a real change is another. It's like people in office are talk when they get there. They're all talk when they get there. She said, I can't take them loving the community seriously, meaning women, children, or young men. The city office leaders are heartbreaking. No passion, just titles. Alicia Mullins, what it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Welcome to the show. Outlaw Radio, man. Planet live from Planet Milwaukee. This is
Kev,
what
let me
we're
say
doing.
this, that, my position, I have a business degree and I have a degree in social work, a master's. I'm not a politician. Here's what I did, Kevin. In this community that I've been in here for so long, I've seen Ashanti Hamilton and Marvin Pratt. What I'm saying to the community is trying to wake us up to say, hey, we can do better. And it doesn't have to be me. I don't necessarily want that position. What I'm saying is that we need somebody in there that's going to take care of the city. I'm just raising the voice to what these people and these individuals has done in this community that I've been here. They've torn it apart. They haven't built it, and we have companies leaving. It's atrocious here. So to run for alderman is a cry for help for the community. For me, it's not saying put Vince in office. I'm crying out to the community that this is what's going on in our community. What are we going to do about it? Now, here's where I stand right now: is that we've got approximately 20,000 eligible people to vote in this community. Less than 3,000 people came out to vote. So here's where I'm at, Kevin. I'm not dropping out. I'm still going to be a voice. I want to be at the table when they have. So this last session, they didn't want to have a forum. Pratt and David Bourne didn't want to have a forum. All the people had forums. They didn't want to have one. So what I'm saying is that I'm still in the race. I've called the election commission. I said, hey, I want to go on as a write-in candidate. So meaning that people in the district, we've got probably 17,000 people that didn't vote. We've got entities in the community, Pastors United says we get out and get the vote. So get out there and get people to vote. See if we can get 10,000 people to vote and see what the dynamics would be. Because now you're motivating people. We don't have anybody in the community wants to motivate anybody. And I'm just trying to bring awareness and an attention. So here's where I am. I'm going out here one more time. And if this community does not care enough, when you've got 30,000 people in this community, 20,000 eligible voters, if they don't care enough to come out and vote and come out and help, I've done enough in this community. It might be time for me to find me another district. That's that simple.
All right.
Because I'm not going to continue to fight this fight by myself. It can't happen. And when I say by myself, I'm not just talking about the people in the district. People in the city see what's going on and nobody's raising a voice. This is atrocious. I mean, I think of when I think of Milwaukee, when I look at it and the makeup of it, I just think about slavery and I think about a plantation. This ain't about a plantation.
I see it differently. Listen, we got the Juice Lady in the building. Juice Lady, what's popping with you?
Hey y'all. Hey Kamar. Hey.
More dog. Woo, woo, woo.
Peace.
Courtney is out here grinding. She's out here doing her thing. You've been all over the place. You want to talk about some of the stuff you got going on, or is it just you keeping it close to the chest?
Y'all know I'm gonna tell. Well, were we focusing on Vince? I didn't want to just bust in and just start talking.
But you did though. You just busted in literally like 45 minutes late.
Like if I was able to kick it down, I would have. But y'all know I started the profit. It's like I guess I wanted to start working with the youth, and I started working with Sam, and then really I think it kickstarted from a phone call from Vince, low key, when he called and asked me to help out a girl, and even though the situation never came to be,
the idea.
You know, I had already started the Village organization as an LLC last year, so I started the nonprofit. And I wanted to get out here working with the youth and just working with young adults and people as far as creating spaces where they can heal through counseling and support and empowerment and creating different courses. And I've been working with the youth here and there through Teen Till 365. And I have secured my first wellness course starting Monday.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Course, niggas, yeah.
Yeah.
I did it, y'all. Yeah. They don't even know if you say a motherfucker the way I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm be acting all professional.
Make shit happen, Courtney. Make shit happen.
You know what I'm saying? That's how the fuck I feel. I'm excited, you know?
So congratulations. I love it. Outlaw shine. Everybody is, you know. So I was watching the Wu-Tang show and he said, yo, son, we like the Yankees, B. I said, damn, that's I guess that's what we are. Are we the Yankees? Can we call ourselves the Yankees? I don't know. But no, so we got Vince in the building tonight, obviously, if you're tuning in. And so the conversation is about Milwaukee and politics and all this kind of stuff. Nobody here is the expert, and I do want to give the disclaimer, because I was told that we need to do the disclaimer early and often on the show from now on. So the disclaimer is the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at, right? Yeah. Don't call me on some bullshit because somebody said some shit. If I didn't say it, don't say me, right? Now sometimes I'll be the one, but it is what it is, right? Right. So I'm just keeping it a buck with you, as they say. My chat room is popping. Let me get the chat room. Let me get the chat room caught up. Okay, so. And Vince, I want to get back to what you were saying because people are fired up in the
But I want
chat room. Hold on, let me bring the chat room up, Vince. She said Tiarsha said they made the hotspot stop selling liquor for a minute. They thought it would help, but it didn't.
30 days.
Okay. Let me see.
It's the drugs that's the problem. It ain't the liquor.
It's the liquor.
Let's see.
Okay, it's that too. It ain't
uh,
the drugs, it's just the liquor. Okay, I got it.
I think it's all in the game. I think all of it makes for a perfect batch, a
Yeah.
perfect formula.
I mean,
Especially when you sprinkle, a little mental health issues in there.
Well, I'm
right.
just saying, the drugs, you know what I mean? Because that's the illegal part. And that shit is rampant over there.
Okay.
That's
What,
the only reason I say the drugs. I know alcohol is bad for you too. This is what I do. I know that part.
right.
And they aren't a liquor store, are they? That's the whole thing. 'Cause
No,
they're
it is though. That's where
Yeah.
it starts. It's basically a centralized spot. It's the hangout spot. It's where
it
it
is.
it, it draws a lot of negative people.
Well, let me
Tiasha, I'm
say
gonna get with
this,
you. I'm gonna get with you
and I'll
about
be
the
done with the
hoodie,
hotspot.
Tiasha.
In 2017, every common council member on the licensing committee says because of a testimony of one woman that the place needed not only to be shut down and their liquor license revoked, but they turn around and suspend their license for 30 days. And November of that year, one of the common council members on the licensing committee is in Mr. J's with the guy from the hotspot.
Mm.
So but Vince, you was on here. A month ago, and you stated that even the papers for our sister Lena Taylor to run for her bid as judge were in the store. So we know this is what I'm saying. We know that this store is complicit with a lot of the dysfunction in the neighborhood. What we've all been surprised about is the fact that this has been allowed to go on for so long. Like
Because
this.
of the people that are in office.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. Um, Jessica Trey says, I appreciate you all speaking on this. What you all are saying is what they should be saying. Okay. I like that. Alicia says, stay at the table. Absolutely. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Yep.
She said, shout out to Vincent and Kevin. If they spoke this way with actions, we would be all right. All right. Shout out to Vincent. Shout out to Vincent. Shout out to you, Vincent. I just wanted to say that.
That's
I'm glad to
my
have
mother's name that she gave me, Vincent. Yes.
right. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad to have you here, Vincent. Well, from now, when you call me and you be like, "Hey, Kev," I'm like, "Hey, Vincent." It's gonna
No,
totally
yeah, we
change our
know each other
conversation.
by that.
She said, "Congratulations, girly." Oh, to Courtney.
Thank you.
Dennis Torres said, "Congratulations, awesome." Shout out to Dennis.
Thanks, y'all.
They giving you love in the chat room in the chatty yaddy.
Yeah.
Tiasha says, "Hey." She said, "Well, it expect advised to help the community." I don't know. I don't know. If I said it and you get mad, so that's my disclaimer. Okay. If I said it so and you get mad. She said, Kamar, you're correct. It's the drugs. All right. And y'all be patient now. We got a long show. We don't have to be in a hurry. There we go. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. She said, good evening, Outlaw family. All these freaking districts are fucked up. The leadership is pitiful and some don't give a damn because if they did, it wouldn't look the way it do. It's filthy. And I know most of them drive around in their areas and see this shit. Paper and trash is everywhere, and we as taxpayers gotta call weekly to get things done. Example, we haven't had lights in our back on our block for 3 days. She said they haven't had lights in their neighborhood for 3 days. She
Mm.
said you call these idiots and they give you the fucking runaround. Mama Jenkins is snapping tonight.
Yeah.
Loving it. Uh Jessica Trey said I had the most horrific experience at the hotspot visiting a family member over there. It's by the grace of God I'm still living. Only wanted to get my grandmama orange juice. It's horrible, 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 and horrible. All right. Now this is another question I got for Vince. She said, Kamar, you're correct. It's the drugs being sold there. That beer ain't doing any harm. Vince, I want to ask you, have either one of those candidates that won, and I know, I think I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Have either one of them even been approached or questioned about what they want to do with the hotspot?
No, let me say this, Kev. That before in December, I wrote a letter saying that, hey, there's 11 people out here. There's going to be one alder person. Let's get 10 people and form a committee to keep the alder person in line. Haven't heard from any of those individuals. David Bowen called me and told me that he was running. When I even tried to call him back, he wouldn't call me back. And I'm a constituent. So after the fact, yeah, I talked to him after the race. They called me And I told Andrea my position with her. The fact that the hotspot is one issue. I know it's her dad, but she was in Alderman Hamilton's office for years. The jobs that have left the community. There's a lawsuit that's out there filed by Eddie Hatch against um, Hamilton, Barrett, Marvin, Andrea Pratt is also named in the lawsuit. And I told her, I can't support you. I can't endorse you because of what you stand for. David Bowen, I talked to him on the phone. I said, David, you're in the assembly for 10 years. What have you done? He basically said, well, his words was, I'm trying to figure, uh, Scott Walker. He survived Scott Walker. That's what he did. He survived Scott Walker. So my issue with David Bowen, they put a youth center in our community. So we've got youth in a detention center in our community that has open doors. And Lena Taylor, himself, they wrote the bill for it. It's a bipartisan bill that they wrote to allow them to start putting community-based detention centers in the middle of our communities. They work with Bishop Daniels, and I told Bishop Daniels we didn't want this in our building. So I have history with all of these people, and it's all been negative, and it has not been for the benefit or the quality of life for District 1.
All right.
And I told them both, I can't endorse either one of them. So my position right now is that I'm still out here. There's thousands of people that didn't vote it, so they can do a write-in. So that's my position right now. I'm still out here canvassing, saying, hey, you can write my name in on the ballot. That's my last ditch effort, because if this is what the people want in this city, this is what they can have. Because I don't have a problem at some point in time moving out of the district, moving into a district where people care. People don't seem to care. But the one problem that I have that's compassionate to me is the reason that they don't care is because they've been crapped on for so long. And they just don't want to be bothered. They don't trust the system. They don't trust Cavalier. They don't trust none of these people in office. And it's evident by what's going on in the city. Nobody has solutions. I've had conversations with Norman, Chief Norman, last summer. I said, hey, what are you going to do about the area over there by the hotspot? There's a place over there, not the hotspot, but there's an alley. It's called Mother Daniels, Freeman's Way now. And I said, what are you going to do about that area? Well, the police chief asked me, what do you want me to do? I'm like, okay, I was in the military and I spent in an island out in the middle of the Indian Ocean protecting this country. And you're going to ask me what you got to do to protect a one city block? Man, please. These people in this city, if nobody's going to talk about them and call them out, they're going to continue to do what they're going to continue to do. And the city is going to get worse and worse. And it's going to take Courtney and people like Rail to get in here and fight with these families to try to change this city, because that's the only way it's going to work. Now, I've talked to Courtney and Rail about some ideas that I have. I'm not a politician. I'm a social worker. Ideas about what to change and how to change the dynamics of these kids and these young adults that are in this city that's causing all this havoc. They don't have solutions downtown.
Shout out to JoJo, my big homie. Got a caller, about to grab them too. JoJo says, "What up, Outlaw Radio? Peace and love, Vincent." He said, "You are what we need in the first district. You have my vote." He said, "I've spoke with you before. I've been on here forever. It's way out of hand around here. Just this past Sunday, 5 young ass kids dressed in black with hoodies and masks on at 3 p.m. with guns out. Shit is out of order. We need help. Caller, I need you to turn your device down. I can hear the echo."
Okay, how you doing this evening? This is Ruben. How you doing, man?
What's going on, brother Ruben? What's popping? What's popping? It's Outlaw Radio.
Yeah, I just wanted to just kind of weigh in what Vince said. I agree with him. Chris Averly has been out of office for a while, but he's still around Milwaukee. He's still involved in all these campaigns, so he pretty much got his hand in everything. I believe that Marvin Pratt and them still have their hand in everything as well. In terms of the hot spot, let me just say this, what you said about this regentrification. I totally agree with you on that as well. Milwaukee's so set on having the outside of the cup clean, making that look good, but the inside of the cup, They purposely don't clean, to keep that destabilized. That's where they're getting all their money from, to be honest with you, with all the crime, in my opinion. I think they all got their hands in all of this. I think that people are voting for familiar faces. And I think that, they're so used to seeing these people and believing in their hearts that they're going to do something when in reality they don't do anything at all. It's a major problem in the city. It's difficult to understand, how are we going to change anything out here, especially when nobody is really getting involved. I just want to say this last thing here. Recently, Common Council President Nice was killed, right? See how quick they got to justice on that. But all this time, we've been calling him about the hotspot. Nobody is doing anything about it. So I'm hoping that this experience in his life will probably wake him up and have him become more actively involved in what's going on in the city. Until we get rid of these familiar faces, until we stop voting for these people, the Atkinson area is always going to be like a jungle moving backwards in evolution. It will always be like that. And that's just my take on it. I agree with him. They all got their hand in it because they all benefiting from it. That man at the hotspot is hitting everybody's hand. So, he going to have his way. So, and another thing with Ashanti Hamilton, I approached him about a year and a half ago, and way before he made his decision not to run, because I told him, I confronted him about his involvement with the hotspot and the fact that he would never do anything about it, and I felt that he was taking money, getting kickbacks from there. And I told him, if you decide to go and run for alderman again, then we're gonna be at you, period, point blank. And as a result, maybe that influenced his decision because you don't want to be bust out like that. But at the end of the day, man, we got to stop looking at all these familiar faces, and we got to realize, like you said, there's a plan. That's to move everybody out. Make rent so unaffordable that they're gonna have to leave, and that's their overall plan, is to really destroy us. And so at the end of the day, I do agree with you, Vince. I think that you deserve that position, and I hope that people will wake up and listen to what you're saying. It sounds like, from my point of view, where I'm sitting here, people would probably be thinking, well, he's just angry. I don't think that you're angry. I think that you're actually fed up with all of this, and that the playing field has not been leveled, and everybody's going to do what they got to do because of this little boys club to keep you up out of it. But stay in the race. Don't give up. That's what I like to say tonight. Thanks, though, bro.
All right, my brother. Thank you for calling in. Always a pleasure, right?
And Kev, let me chime off the drug thing. Kamar is absolutely right. It's part of it, because when Office of Violent Prevention came to, Garden Homes was their pilot. They brought in 414 Life. I met with 414 Life. I met with every person that was on 414 Life in that time. When I went up to their office and talked to them, they went firsthand in the hotspot and they saw drugs exchange hands. So here we've got an Office of Violence Prevention inside of a store, seeing a drugs transaction take place, and does nothing about it. So when I went to the Common Council, I called Reggie Moore. I said, hey, we've got witnesses of what's going on in that store. Nobody came down to the Common Council, but you've got these people in positions of leadership, and they've seen these things happen. It's a perfect opportunity to close this store down, but we've got the Office of Violence Prevention not preventing a damn thing, because they go along and get along, because there's a relationship that's been established with these people in our community that they can do what they want to do.
That's right. Complicitness is your
Hey,
crime, sir.
I just thought about something, right? While Vince is talking, I just thought about something. Like, it seemed to me like it would make sense for the Office of Violence Prevention to target drugs also, because drugs are the cause of a lot of violence that goes on in the community.
When you say target them, what do you mean target them?
Well, like figure out what can they do to help stop the drug issues in the community.
You know what, Kamar?
It ain't just about stopping the motherfucker from shooting somebody, but let's get to the root of the problem.
But Kamar, remember this? We had the conversation with certain individuals who are involved in this 414 Life type thing, and that's been suggested. But the thing is, they feel we're compromised if we work directly with the police. Because if you know the turf, you know what anybody's gonna say as soon as they walk up, they're gonna be like, "Man, you the police. I ain't talking to you." So that's what they were worried about.
Hey, to get results though, and for the community to see that this is what y'all doing, y'all might have to compromise that.
But they honestly,
because you know what I mean, like we can't see no difference in the violence from what they doing right now.
But that would be compromising themselves because they're selling themselves as a brother. I've been in prison. I've sold drugs. I've done this. So, and my problem with the whole thing is that if it's really going to work, they have to work in collaboration with the police because they don't have the power that the police have. So now they've committed a situation where they would have to do that. So now they've alienated themselves against the people. So they're gangbangers, they're murderers, they've done all of these things. They can't have that type of alliance, and that's what we've had in this district. We've had Office of Violence Prevention, 414 Life, WIDA, 30th Street Corridor, Northwest Side CDC. We got all of these people in this community, and nothing happens.
414 Life say they don't work with the police, not the Office of Violence Prevention.
They're one of the same,
right?
Right.
Well, I thought 414 Life worked for the Office of Violence Prevention.
They're an
It's
extension.
an arm. It's an arm. But the thing is
so let me get this. Okay. So if it's an arm of it, right? These brothers are supposed to, they out here talking to other brothers about, man, freeze that, man. It ain't worth it, right?
Right. Stopping conflict.
That's them not working with the police. Office of Violence Prevention, I said, like maybe they need another arm.
Okay.
I did.
Maybe so.
You see what I'm getting at, though?
Because the village, we don't fuck with the police. You know what I'm saying? The Office of Violence Prevention, we don't though.
Right. So you see, y'all see what I'm getting at, right?
I hear.
Like, that should be something that they should be targeting somehow.
You got a good point there. However, now, so with this extension and then moving Reggie Moore to the medical college, the 414 Life, so they've made the separation is now on that arm. So they've done that, but still they can't do it. It's not practical.
Well, first of all, I think we're forgetting that we talking about cats on the block. Some people ain't gonna talk to you. They're just not gonna talk to you because they're gonna be like, I got too much going on. I start messing with dude. Next thing I know, I'm getting ready for this. The dude is police.
Yeah.
So our homies that's with 414,
right?
They're not the same people that speak for the Office of Violence Prevention, are they?
Yes. They are. They represent. It's like they're patrolmen. It's like they're organizers. That's their community organization arm. So they go out and basically take the OVP's message.
Well, all I'm saying is this, man. The Office of Violence Prevention need to figure something out. They getting money for this shit.
Well, you know what? The alderman that failed.
That's the bottom line, right?
The alderman that failed this community, District 1, is the Office of Violence Prevention Director.
Bam.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Because he made a deal with Cavalier. They all make deals behind closed doors to make these things happen. That man should not be Office of Violence Prevention of anything. He didn't prevent anything in our community.
And that's what I'm saying. If you prevent violence, you need to be doing whatever you can to prevent where the violence stems from.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just saying what should be. I know they ain't finna do it. They can't do it. You know what I mean? They ain't doing it. I'm just saying what it should be.
Idealistically speaking.
Yeah.
Right.
Mama Jenkins says Vincent, these people got money backing them.
Jessica
Trey says, hold on. Jessica Trey says, Vince, stay in the district. The community needs you. Barely anyone else will stand up. I know it can get frustrating. She says, I can't imagine what you encounter. Our city's being destroyed. Shout out to Ocean Shira Dodd. She says, greetings. How you doing, my sister? Byron Terry says, self-accountability is what we need. Citizen participation is what they fear. Willing to testify in court for a better quality of life is what we lack. Right, you ops. We don't want to be the ops.
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, you know what I mean? The motherfucker, if you the Office of Violence Prevention, you might have to compromise that we don't fuck with the police thing. Because first off, that's a goddamn lie. The Office of Violence Prevention fucks with the police.
But hold on.
I mean, they get some of that money too. They working for the county. They working for the police too.
No, it does. I'm telling you, Kamar, it doesn't work like that. Hold on, but Tiarsha says, this is funny. This is a funny question. I got to read this, so I didn't mean to cut nobody off. Tiarsha said, has anyone ever thought that Ashanti Hamilton didn't have a say about the hotspot? He absolutely did. He's the alderman. One of the things they do is grant license and permits. It's right smack dab in the middle of his district. He absolutely had to say so.
2015, 2017, and 2018, our block was down at the Common Council. 2018, I went down there by my damn self because the rest of the community is so fed up with them continue to renew their license. Ashanti Hamilton told the licensing committee that I have a personal vendetta against the guy from the hotspot. I said, I don't have no personal vendetta, but this mother lives in Franklin, Wisconsin, and he comes down here and pours it in my people, in my community. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who have made alliances with these store people that are have destroyed our communities, and we allow it to happen. At some point in time, I mean, I don't know, it's going to blow up. It's blowing up now because everybody's killing everybody.
Yeah.
Shout out to Byron Terry. He said, "My bad. I should have started with blessings, Outlaw Radio, and listeners. I make mistakes too." Deion James said, "What's so special about the hotspot?
They're
It's a
protected.
problem. It's a problem location, Deion. It's a source. It's a scab in the community."
Yeah.
Ruben says he doesn't legally, but he has influence. I think he's talking about Ashanti. She said he did have a say and didn't say or see or say anything. She's talking about Ashanti. He did have a say. Um, Kamar's correct in his assessment. Of course he is. He's Kamar Carter. You ain't know, right? Right? He's a ghetto witch doctor. He's always right, even when he's wrong.
Not always right.
Right. He's always right. What are you talking about? That boy ain't never flunked a test in his life.
Hey, Kevin, I got a question.
Walk with me for a day.
Kevin, I got a question for you guys.
Yes, sir.
If somebody's on the license committee, Rainey, and after they make a decision about the license for the hotspot, and they suspend this dude's license after saying all four of them said we're going to revoke their license, and then they ended up doing it for 30 days. 6 months later, this dude is in the in Mr. J's having Rainey's having a fundraiser, and this dude is in there. He walks up to me and asks me, what do I have against him personally? My question is someone on the licensing committee should have that type of relationship with someone that they should be revoking their license?
If it's a fundraiser, I guess he's free to come. But it says a lot about what's going on. I agree with you in that regard, but I don't know that it was illegal.
I'm not saying it's illegal, but I mean, isn't that something worthy of investigating? Because they went behind closed doors and they came back with a different answer, all of them.
Yeah, I would think
that's
that
what,
raises
Kevin. That's what we're dealing
suspicion.
with in this city. That's what we're dealing with in the first district. So you wonder why people don't vote? Because you got people in there that are friends and they make deals with people that harm our community.
She said, Jessica Trey says, with me knowing owners of the hotspot, I will say only they have connections. They not only that do they have connections, they keep them up and running. Ruben Anderson said, sis is beyond real. Love it. The village, love it. He's shouting you out, Courtney. Ruben is shouting you out in the village. Shout out. Shoot me some info. You sent me the logo before. We got to promote that.
Yeah, the website and update it right. A couple of days to be up and running. These business cards on the way. It's coming. It's coming. You know, y'all can order our hoodies and shirts soon too. Just send your money to cash.
Okay.
Let's not get stuck on the hotspot. So we've got
oftentimes what happens is we're talking and the chat room is going. So I try to bring them up to speed because they answering questions as we moving along. She said they need to get the street angels back on the street. They helped out a lot back in the day. Too many switchies, as they say out here now. Motherfuckers getting their shit pushed back.
Yeah.
Dion said, "What up, bro?" Jessica said it's a death threat. He said, "Kick that shit, Kamar." Ruben Anderson. I'm just trying to catch up. She said, "Yes, the owners live in Franklin." Mama Jenkins chimed in with a binger. She said, "Not a chance. These motherfuckers are not going to change nothing because the drugs are big money in that area, and the people that hang out in that area are getting paid a lot of cash. This shit is so out of control, and with all those bastards getting paid, they're all getting paid whether directly or indirectly." Shout out to Mama Jenkins. She always spit that hot fire. Deion James said the hotspot been there for over 20 years. I think you have to do some. He said, "I think you do have something personal against the hotspot, Vince."
Well, let's change the subject from the hotspot. We've got they put a youth detention center in our community. We've got in the last 10 years, we've had probably 500, 600, 700 jobs that leave the community, and we talk about economic development. And I was on WNOV last week, and the question was asked, well, the company that's leaving going to take 500 jobs with them. The question was asked was, do any black people live there? Well, there's a sister that walked to that job every day. Does she count?
Um, I don't know. You
But
know
then, but
what?
then, but everybody, all the older people complain about the manufacturing companies leaving the community. That's what happened to them, and that's what drug the city in the ground. But now that we've got another company that's leaving, now it's saying that they're all white people.
So, do you think that the slaughterhouse should have been the neighborhood should have allowed the slaughterhouse to be built right there?
That was in a different district. It depends on what they think over there. So here's my thing: there's 22 wards in District 1. You take that ward and you sit them down and you get them together. You ask them, "Is this what you want?" Because the alderperson represents the people. So if the people say yes, yes. If the people say no, even if it's against your better in judgment, this is what the people want. So if the people says no, so be it. If they say yes, so be it. Now, should somebody had advocated and went to the people and did more advocating for that? I don't know. That's not an issue
Well,
that I had.
I brought that up because that's right next to that district, and if some jobs come to that right there, it will affect the first district because people will be those jobs. It'll be more jobs in the area. Now the thing was, I think Khalif Rainey, who's the alderman, at first was for it. The people in the neighborhood actually spoke up and said no, and so he came back and voted against it. He changed his vote. But the thing was, people were saying it was homeowners, old people who said, I bought my house 30, 40 years ago. We don't want that here. But there's a whole new generation of people who are over there that ain't that old, that are
Is that
underserved, and
another form of
they can't find
gentrification?
jobs.
They should have been heard then. They should
Is
have
that
made
another
themselves
form of
heard.
gentrification? You're saying the young people should push them out of their houses? That's gentrification, isn't it?
No, I'm not
It's
saying they
black
should push
against
them.
black now.
I'm not saying that. I don't understand how allowing a factory to be built so jobs can come to the area.
To
How's
push
that
people
pushing
out of
them
their
out of their
homes?
homes? Well, A.L. Smith was right there for 50 years and it polluted the ground and the water. So, and they got served off of it, and they retired and they own their homes. But there's people now who need jobs, so I don't see how that's pushing them out the neighborhood. I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't see how
Well,
would that make you
what you said is that the young people could
younger people
want
than
it. What if enough younger people would have got together or in the community to make that decision, then it goes that way. It's the
yeah.
majority that rules. So it's if it's a mixture of old and young or young and old, whatever the mixture is, the bottom line is that they said no. I don't know what the dynamics of the breakdown is. But
No, because we said we're spreading across the city, especially if you're talking about the 30th Street corridor that goes away from that affects way more than just the first district. So I'm saying we have to keep extending towards a city, like on a city level, not just about the first district,
Mhm.
but just about because 53206 is sitting right next to it, which is one of the most dysfunctional area codes in this country. Byron says the hotspot has cameras for the entire area. Let a shooting take place, and I see the footage pop up. I live near the hotspot. I saw the crime take place, but I won't cooperate with the police. No snitching applies to criminals only, he said. Dion said it's a million liquor stores from 27th and Atkinson till Keefe and Atkinson. Very true. Bunch of liquor stores, bunch of dysfunctional corner stores too in there. That's similar. He said it's a drug clinic right across the street from the hotspot. Jessica says somehow. Oh, she said scratching my head. How dare you, Dion? Make it make sense. She on your heels, Dion.
So
Not being funny, but what street is District 1? Well, it's an area. It's not just a street, Tiarsha. Vince has passion for the safety in that area, nothing personal. It's women and children in the area that are unsafe, Dion. No disrespect, but you make no sense. Woo! It's hot over here in Outlaw Radio tonight. Ruben says, I think Kamar hit on something. Office of Violence Continuous should direct those funds towards therapeutic institutions aimed at re-educating people emotionally.
perfect.
Damn. Is that what you said, Kamar?
Absolute. Well,
Kinda, yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that. Because I mean, really, like I said, you know what I mean? We got to start looking at the root of the problem, man. If we
Right.
want to fix something, you know what I mean? So let's put some energy towards that.
yeah, and my thing is the women and children and families. So we every year since I moved over here, we were having an annual block watch cookout at the Garden Homes Park. I made the decision to move it away from there because of the shootings. I don't want to be responsible for somebody's kid getting shot at a outing that I'm having in the community. So we took it from that park and we moved it to a youth center away from that stuff. And every year we had a beautiful cookout, and we gave kids, students, probably over 150, 225 book bags full of school supplies.
Wow. Um,
That's what's up.
she said, scratching my head. Look at the bigger picture, Mr. Dion. Jessica's upset with Dion for going for questioning Vince. Byron says the Common Council president's niece murder was solved within the first 48 hours. Same with the third transgender death, solved within a week. Citizens are taking, sharing videos, etc. I'm woke, love the platform, and we've been here before. I want to talk about them transgenders, man. I want to talk about them transgenders. Let's step away from the politics for a minute. I want to talk about the transgender genders. She said, don't talk about A.O. Smith, Mr. Barnes. Huh. Okay. MC Tone in the building. Milwaukee's very own MC Tone. He said, I don't want a
MC
slaughterhouse.
Town.
He said he didn't want a slaughterhouse there. He wanted a strip club. Didn't nobody listening to him. He feels so ignored. MC Tone wanted a strip club. Mama Jenkins said, I was one of those people that didn't want that slaughterhouse in the hood. I asked, why not put an education center in the
That shit
A.O.
was
Smith
gonna
at the
stink.
ferry? Okay. Okay.
Slaughterhouses stink.
Do the new
Yeah.
slaughterhouses? I thought they said they had so much technology now where it wouldn't stink. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Man,
Man,
believe that.
please, shit stank.
They also said, hey, they also said that jab was gonna work.
Oh, it's not working. What is it not working? Come on, shit! I thought that's why COVID was over, man. What are you talking about, man? Right?
Man, nah, they found the Ukraine. The Ukraine became the excuse to siphon funds to their friends and shit.
Oh my goodness. She said, "What area is District 1?" Excuse me, Kev. It's basically the Capitol Drive, Rufus King, Hampton, down when you go. Vince said it goes from Calumet Road and it goes south to Atkinson. So after
No, it goes.
Atkinson,
Let me, Kevin. It goes from Calumet on the
uh-oh, his flip phone acting up. It's
Shit.
35th up to Hopkins. The third, it goes over to 55th and off of Hampton up to Silver Spring, back over to 43rd, and then back up to Calumet.
So it's
Big.
basically a near
It's
north
huge.
side district for where, you know, like I said, it's right on the freeway. It's what 10 minutes from the lake. It's a very prominent area and a lot of beautiful homes. And at one point, a bunch of black homeowners, which kind of some people say it created like some the only black power base in the city, but it's been controlled and compromised, according to my brother here tonight. That's the district. She said, Jessica said she meant look at the bigger picture. I know. That's why I said it. I know you did. Ruben Anderson said paragraphed, Kamar. I don't know what he's talking about. Tiasha said Byron Terry, the relatives put that guy's picture out the first day the councilman niece was killed. Listen, hold on. Let's not get away from these transgenders. 3 transgenders murdered in Milwaukee in 9 months, right?
Damn.
What is the deal? And they just found one in a burning building that was murdered. What's the deal with the transgenders, man? Like, do we have an epidemic here? I mean, 3 in 9 months. I don't say that, that's not a lot, I guess, but by them being transgender, what you think about this, Kamar? What do you think could be behind this?
I don't know, man. We have to ask their community what's going on. Like, me and my lady was talking, and we was to just, you know how like every so often you hear about one of them getting fucked up because they done messed with a man and didn't tell them that they was a man or something. Like maybe it's more of that going on in the community. I don't know. I had no clue what's going on with it. I ain't, you know what I mean? I don't even know who to talk to about that, right?
See that though. It's like crazy.
I don't even know who I can ask about that.
Hold on, y'all. Courtney, what was you saying? We couldn't hear you. You was breaking up.
Oh, my bad. So it's a lot. Let me.
She got her flip phone.
No, I don't. Whatever, kid. So It's crazy. I know a lot of transgenders in the community, and it's like knowing transgenders and gay males. You know, it's a lot of down low dudes. Ooh, we it's a lot of down low dudes. So at this point, I don't think it's no, they ain't tell nobody because niggas be knowing. I just don't really know how you didn't
I
know.
think they know too.
I know nowadays it's like it's just so many down low dudes, and it be I don't know what the killings are about because I know in the summertime a transgender I went to school with got murdered. It seemed to be like on some real random. The story it was one story about another transgender was jealous and set him up, and I don't know. It's be going around telling other people stuff like, oh, you ain't know she had AIDS, things like that type setup. Go get you shot. You know, so I don't know. I don't know.
I know that and I really asked the question because we were just talking the other night on the show. The topic of homosexuality and all this kind of stuff came up, and so it was an extended conversation about our attitudes as a community, the black community in particular, towards homosexuality. Because forever we've worn the jacket that we are homophobic. The black community is homophobic, and I was saying I feel like now it's time to shed that because I feel like at this point Black America is gay as it's ever been. Like they embraced look at Dwayne Wade and P Valley and all this kind of stuff. And
And
then right
I
right
like
when I say
it.
that, then next thing you know, we got 3 transgender people murdered. I'm like, damn, I guess I spoke too soon. Right. So, you know, but not that it has anything to do with the price of tea in China. I'm always just aware of certain things, especially when we have a conversation about them. And then you look up and it's like, damn, now that's in the news. I got another thing too, y'all. Have y'all seen this? Ooh. I'm gonna get my chat room. We ain't done with Vince. I'm gonna get my chat room caught up. Have y'all seen this antique mall on what is it, Prospect? On Pierce. The antique mall on Pierce. And I put this in the People's News Network. They apparently have some vendors who have been servicing people for a very long time, and they sell all of the Sambo memorabilia, all of the lawn jockeys and the Aunt Jemima statues and figurines and the racist postcards and depictions of black people. And so a sister went in there and complained. Now here's where it gets twisted. You would think, all right, the jig is up. All right, we about to put you on the news. I go to the owner. Not only has he allowed this vendor to still be in there, right? He stated that I don't know what it can even do about it. You own it. Now, he said, well, don't get mad because we also sell Nazi memorabilia in here as well. And so I seen some people are trying to protest this place, but this is crazy, right? Like it says, like so, and they show this collection is vast. It's like somebody has been really intentional about. I just love this. Like I love these. It's all of the things to remind us of the whole little Sambo, you know, slave kind of. It's crazy to see this collection. I don't know if y'all seen this. This is the antiques
Yeah,
on
I've
Pier.
seen it.
I think
Okay.
that shit dope. I mean, it's not dope that, but they white.
Yeah.
I wish it was somebody black, but it's like I would like I'm a person that loves to collect shit. I would love to go buy some shit. It's like ain't no niggas got this shit for me to go buy. Unfortunately,
Would you want that around your house? Would you want that
I
kind
got
of?
all types of different black books and things I be showing to my kids. So as far as having something from in the past to be able to show, so look, woo woo woo, and tell a story about it, hell yeah.
Okay.
It's all about your perspective on it. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Somebody have it around. I don't want this shit around. Remind me of slavery and white folks, and it depends on how you look at it when you look at it. So
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's because that imagery for
I
me.
think if I want to sell some fuck whitey shit, I should be able to also.
Right.
you should.
I think we
And you
all should be
can.
able to sell what we want to sell. If somebody buy it, they buy it.
Right.
If you
Right.
don't want it, don't buy it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I just feel like if they can do that, I should be able to do the same thing.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
So
all of that.
so we saying he shouldn't. The vendor shouldn't be allowed to take his stuff down. It's cool. He should be
Yeah,
able
he
to sell
shouldn't
his
have.
stuff.
I feel like he shouldn't have to.
It's
Right.
capitalism.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I personally felt like with some of this stuff, it should be he should have to take it down. Like I don't. It's a slap in the face to me, but I get what y'all saying though. I get what you're saying.
It become a slippery slope when you try to police what other people can do. Like I seen something the other day where it showed it was a post that showed it was in Wisconsin, but it was a couple that had a Confederate flag jacket or some shit like that. And I don't know, the Confederate flag don't really do shit to me, but I can understand why I do shit to other folk. But I always thought about like if we push for them to be able to take down the Confederate flag, I can't trip if motherfuckers say I can't hang a Pan-African flag. You know, once we start wanting to police people because we don't like what they do, we also got to examine how somebody may not like what we have or do.
Right.
And we opening up that boat of fucking just policing. You know, I enjoy freedom of speech, and I don't give a fuck what somebody say.
But hold on, Rail. Like the symbolism and what the Confederate flag stands for versus what the Pan African flag.
No, I know what you're gonna say.
One was totally different things.
Right. Like, but what I'm saying is, no matter how you look at it, it's a banner that a community use. You know what I'm saying? So if we get to try, just like, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if we found a store that sell fucking Klans robes. I wouldn't go buy one, but I mean, I can't dictate what somebody sells as far as that. But you know, I guess I'm a little different anyway, because when y'all was like, we need to focus on the drugs. It's like, God damn, drugs causing the violence. Violence causes violence. Shit, weed make people sit their ass down.
Real, I don't know if you understand.
Well, you got dope fiends that do shit for dope.
I mean, right. you do.
That's a different level. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you do get, you know, motherfuckers that will do the most to get their fix.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely do.
But also what you have too, and people have to understand is like when it comes to drugs, a lot of times we talking about territory. We're talking about, hold on, man, we got this area over here. We get money over here.
Right. You can't sell on my turf and shit. Right.
Somebody else to come over here and fuck with our money. So they got to, so you end up, hey, y'all got to move around, man. Shit, this us now. Now you got, you know, this is the problem this is the issue. One of the issues that drugs brings into the community. Damn, we lost Vince. I hope he chimes back in. Because I want to get away from some political stuff because it's a lot of stuff going on. So the variation of the show sometimes it causes us to change the direction of the conversation, then whip it around and bring it right back. As they say, spin the block. Byron Terry in the chat room, he says, call it 192427, whatever. Build a prison where A.O. Smith used to be, and I'll support it. It'll still be a slaughterhouse. Oh, okay.
Okay.
He said, Tiarsha Arthur, so Mama Jenkins.
Kev, is you talking? Is you froze?
I think Kev froze this time.
Hey, well, that's something like the fuck on.
Hey man, that's his system fucking us up, man. Look, damn, we done lost him. That's his shit, man. He blaming that shit on us. He blaming that shit on us. I ain't taking that blame no more.
Right. Goddamn flip phone.
How the host lose the show?
You know. Oh man.
I'm kind of curious about that story now though, because it made me think about that movie Bamboozled when they were showing a lot of just having them different. It's called darky iconography, like the old like cards and Aunt Jemima and shit, or nigger baby soap and shit. Yeah. Like they had all that crazy shit. And I mean, I think if we did grab some of that shit and use it as history, especially with them trying to dictate what we can and can't teach in school and shit, right. I think we need to go grab some of that darky iconography and have.
Can y'all hear me now? Because I want y'all to know. I heard all this shit. I heard everybody trying to talk shit about my shit. Right? I heard y'all. I heard you, dirty motherfucker. Right?
I ain't taking that blame no more.
All right. Listen, you got the computer that got to warm up every time you turn it on. Right? Come on, son. Like
apparently it's not my computer.
Right.
Hey, apparently it's not my computer.
Apparently the fuck it is. I don't know what you're talking about. Shit. Come on, man.
Host just lost his show.
That's how people do you and shit that's how people do you and shit when you go, that motherfucker, see, he ain't shit. He blamed it on us. I'm like, they just talking about me like I can't hear him. It's all good, man. Shit.
Hey, like you ain't gonna go back and listen to the show anyway, right?
Right.
Right. No, I didn't have to. I was still on. Like, all these motherfuckers don't knock me still. It's all good. It's all good. But no, I was actually in the middle of reading Deion James's comment, right? And he said, I don't feel sorry for them Transformers. If they out here playing with fire and not truthful about their sexuality, then it's on them. You put in a tough position, really. And I'm just gonna say it as a man, and I'm not endorsing anybody getting murdered. I'm saying you're in a tough position if you've been dealing with what you thought was a female, and all of a sudden it is revealed to you that the whole time this was a male.
Dun, dun, dun.
It got to be the most empty feel. It has to be one of the worst feelings you ever had in your life to say, wait, what? And so I'm not saying
you done showed all the homies.
Right.
I've been out showing pictures. Look.
Damn.
Lord have mercy.
They still go
he's like, where old girl at?
Where your girl at, dog? Oh man. Oh. And you, I done kissed all over this. Man, Lord have mercy. Once again, I would advise anybody who's living that lifestyle to be honest with people, because you see it can put you in a very serious. Some cats will snap. They'll black out. Like what? Like
now, they saying that's what happened? Like,
I don't
that
know
what led to these 3 deaths type shit, or
no? That was based on Deion's on his comment.
Okay, yeah. No, I thought maybe that's what happened and shit.
No.
I mean,
oh no,
yeah.
I don't know.
They be out here saying what they are. So I don't.
I mean, we never know. I mean, honestly, I never understood how a motherfucker get that far without knowing the gender type shit.
They still
I mean, shit. If we fucking with each other before we even fucking, I'm grabbing on you, shit. So I'm already gonna have a handful of whatever you got. So I mean, if I feel the wrong thing, shit.
Well, listen, but even this though, and sometimes, and we gotta look at it in the right context. Sometimes it may not even be that this individual didn't know. It may be that this person says, "Now I'm gonna tell your girl." Your wife that you've been messing with me, or I'm about to put you on blast.
And I really think that a lot of that is what is happening. I think a lot of that is what's happening, because nowadays it's how the fuck do you not know somebody is or whatever? I mean shit. But
if somebody's had surgery, if they've had surgery, it's a different thing.
So you said if they had surgery
ain't had that.
You said if they had surgery,
people, we ain't got them higher level gay people.
Right, we ain't got that here.
I mean, they probably still walking around with their shit, man. I mean, a lot of them ain't going that far, that fast. So they still got their shit, but it's a lot of little undercover cats now that they don't care as far as when they fucking that person, but they do care as far as if it's gonna get out and get exposed.
That's what I'm saying.
So that definitely would probably move somebody to act irrational and ignorant.
Well, you think about somebody who may have a little position or is, quote unquote, somebody in the community, and he been kind of sliding through here, doing his thing, whether he was breaking off some money or whether he was just, playing both sides, and then all of a sudden he says, well, I don't think I should do this no more. And so that person says, "Oh no, you don't get to bail like this." So I'm a, and he don't mean to kill him, but he ended up grabbing him by his throat, saying, "Don't you ever threaten me?" And then you look around like, "Oh shit, I didn't choke this motherfucker to death."
Damn.
And so it could be a lot of that. That's what I'm saying. It's very dangerous.
Don't do shit you saying about. Don't do shit you saying about, man. That's how you
Right.
avoid that shit.
That's what my mom always told me, man. If you embarrassed
Yeah,
about it, don't do it.
exactly. I try to live by don't say shit you can't repeat, and don't
Right.
do shit you too ashamed to discuss.
I'm gonna say it. But you know, I did.
Straight
One
up.
of my homeboys, his partner had passed away, a gay guy, and I remember one day he had made a status and said, "Man, a lot of y'all baby daddies suck good ass dick," and I was like, "Damn."
See, that
That
ain't
might
cool.
be what happened to
You
him right
know,
there.
that
That
shit
that
was
that
terrible. You
that
just
right there.
Not cool. Not
Like,
exactly.
cool at all. Right. And see,
yeah.
that's how once again, a lot of people, man, it's violence, 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 man. They say they chose violence that day.
Mental health, just like
Yeah,
y'all said
Yeah, I didn't
before,
mean to
mental
kill
mental
health,
him.
health.
violence. That's all you need. Just mental fucking
Yeah,
health.
Mental fucking health,
that
man.
that's a complication that one of the side effects that we have with people living out loud sometimes. Jessica Trey says, I think a lot of them exposing or threatening to expose a man. That's what, yeah, so she agrees with us.
Sage the
Tasia
number at
Marie
the bottom.
Sloan
262.
chime in. She
Go
said,
ahead.
facts, they know. Let me catch up the chat room. About to bring Vince back. He's back on the check. Byron Terry said, every day is historic if you live. Good
All
luck.
right.
MC Tone is on the chat. MC Tone in the chat. He said they have a high rate of domestic violence. Is he talking about transgenders? I think he is. Tiasha Arthur said the transgender females wasn't telling the guys they have men parts. They not telling them. That's what I believe is what happened. Jessica says lots of guys are now bisexual or DL, and they will kill them before a transgender. It will kill them before a transgender exposes them.
That's
Sharon
more
Evans
likely
said,
the case.
how many non-transgender homicides total in the last 3 months? That's a good question. That's a good question. Ladella said, how many black men have been killed in the last 9 months? Okay, we know that's popping. Caller, turn down your phone. You're live on Outlaw Radio. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Tasia. I'm calling from Chicago. I'm up in the comment section right now.
Hey,
Okay, what's
Sage.
popping? What's popping?
So I'm
Peace.
calling in because you got all these people on here assuming of what trans women doing and we tricking. We not tricking no niggas. I've been trans since I was 13 and I'm 33 years old.
Okay.
I ain't never in my life had to trick no niggas. Because the first my father told me when I came and told him what was going on with me was to make sure that I tell the truth because he don't want to have to kill nobody. Everything then I would rather tell because if they can't be true with themselves, how they gonna be true with me? So while people out here trying to say, oh, fuck trans, they out here tricking niggas, bitch, it's 2023. Don't nobody need to trick nobody. Don't nobody need to fool nobody into nothing because when the pants come down, you're either gonna get a pussy or you're gonna get sex. One or the other. And we do have vaginas because we get sexual reassignment surgery through our insurance for free.
Okay.
So while they on here making all these assumptions of, oh, they getting killed because they tricking or they get murdered because they lying or they doing, why do we have to lie to a nigga when if we don't have the surgery, it's going to lead to the dead anyway? You think we go through all of this hormones, therapy, and all this stuff to lie to a nigga and to get our life taken? Come on now.
So
or is it that these niggas is living double lives and these women and then some of these niggas on here, how y'all talking, feel uncomfortable. So they feel like I'd rather kill her even though I love her. I'd rather kill her than to get my teeth filled because my niggas gonna talk about me. Or these girls or these, they gonna call me gay or do this and the other. Quit putting the narrative of that we're not telling.
Hey,
That's
but
not the narrative.
hold on. We did say, I think that's just what we just said.
No, I'm listening to what's said on here. Even the girl in the front with somebody said, "Oh, these niggas don't got they got dick." How do you know that?
But I know a whole bunch of transgender.
Do you even honestly know what it takes? Do you think that we just waking up one morning and just saying, "Oh, this is what we want to do"? Do you know what we actually go through? Have you ever took the time out to educate yourself on it?
Yeah. I know a lot of transgenders, but
have you ever did that, or do you just get on here and say, "Oh, niggas ain't got nothing here, they ain't got no money for that"? You know you get that for free.
Hold on, she's trying to answer the question though. Let her answer the question.
I'm not done talking. I'm speaking on what I'm saying. Then she can answer. I'm just speaking. She already said what she felt.
But you just answered her question.
Why you
she said how she no. I didn't ask the question. I'm just speaking. I don't care how she felt because she already stated how she felt. So whatever she has to say now is irrelevant to me. I'm speaking because I'm a transgender woman living in a free world and not lying to no nigga or trying to fool no nigga. For look at me, do like I need to fucking fool the nigga. about anything? No, I don't.
Oh,
These
okay.
Yeah,
niggas
like
be
we said, we
uncomfortable in
did.
sexuality. They get on here. They
Right.
kill my sisters. They killed us. I've been shot. I got shot in Milwaukee in 2012 for no reason from a nigga that knew what was going on with me.
Uh,
But let me have a die. It would have been, oh, she tricking and fucked him and all that. How? Y'all don't even know the full story. Y'all get on the internet and do stuff like this, and then it says a whole bad name for all trans women.
But that's
okay.
not what
When
we
we
said.
out here, as me, myself, personally, I'm a social worker.
Listening.
I work with the youth, and I've been doing it for 10 plus years. I'm helping kids that 9 out of 10 of y'all nieces, nephews,
Well,
and all that.
can I
because we don't have
say this
children.
though? Can I say this to you
Yeah,
though?
y'all can say what y'all can. Y'all been
Listen.
on here saying a lot.
Right. Okay, but
That y'all don't know, though. Y'all assuming.
if you
Y'all been
hold
on here
on,
assuming.
You gotta listen.
if you gonna
You
talk,
gotta listening.
if you're gonna talk, you gotta let other people talk as well. You can
Yeah,
I
okay,
hear
but
you.
y'all already been doing enough talking and assuming.
Right. Well, but
We
you
didn't
eventually you
assume
gotta let
anything.
somebody
That's
talk
the
because
thing.
I've given
Okay, so, okay.
I've given you a
That's what I said.
platform. I've given you a chance to speak.
Yeah, but you on the platform degrading and transfasting, being transphobic.
Okay.
What?
I'm gonna have to back
You
out
know,
that
like
call.
what? Why do we always
No,
look
and
at you like
listen, I'm gonna tell you why I hung up the phone. Is because if you're gonna talk, you also have to listen. I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna let somebody just call and rant and rave and nobody else can talk. I'm willing to let anybody have a voice, but come on, man, you don't do
Right.
that.
And we
This
can
ain't
have a
Clubhouse.
long drawn out conversation. It's okay.
They was hurt. You know what I'm saying?
And everything she said,
they
yeah, we did say, and we also said we just assuming. We don't even know nobody who we could talk to about
shit.
it.
I just asked questions
We
like,
also
"Hey, is
said
this what
we
happened?"
also said his brother's embarrassed from fucking with him because they in the
Yeah,
club.
yeah, we
We
said all
said
that.
everything she said.
Well, I mean, they knee deep in the shit, so they ain't gonna see the forest for the tree. You know, they probably lost a bunch of people they love, two ignorant motherfuckers, and deal
She
with
said she's
ignorance.
been shot.
So yeah, so I mean, you can understand how it triggered them.
Yeah, I do.
You
I do,
know,
real. I do. But what I'm saying is, you gotta eventually let somebody else talk. I get your
oh,
passion.
they was just bleeding right now.
Right,
Well, you know, they
yeah.
this wasn't to get an understanding. This wasn't to come to some sort of agreement.
Let me tell your ass
This
something.
was I was triggered. I feel you bashing this shit. Let me come at you. But I mean, I don't think I ever said anything, you know, degrading. We was like a lot of people, you know, could be in the closet. Some people could be lying. I don't know. But we even said in today's day and age, motherfuckers know, they just don't want other people to know. So I mean,
Right, we
Right.
you
said
know,
that.
once they step out of the hurt feelings and shit, which is understandable, they could go back and look at this shit with an objective viewpoint and see what we actually said.
She said
right.
nobody's tricking these dudes. Nobody's tricking these dudes. So do you people on here saying trans females are not telling you're trans, you can all suck a big dick.
We said that
But you
too.
kill us because you're not happy with yourselves. See, I don't want to get into that kind of energy.
Right.
Yeah, that's pain
Um,
right there. That's I
right.
wish them all the healing they
Yeah, man.
require.
Yeah, man. God bless you. MC Tone said the stuff should never be sold. Tell that woman to put the Hennessy down.
I ain't even had no Hennessy today, MC Tone.
Uh,
I just feel like that's good memorabilia, man. You get that.
Taser, Jessica Trey said, Taser, are you watching, talking about cache stuff, etc.? I don't know. Tiasha said, Courtney, the store has been selling those things for years. Jessica said, girl, they not saying that. They saying it's bad. You loco. That's what I'm saying. Nobody was bashing. That's what I'm like. Yeah, ain't nobody bash. Listen, there's no reason for me to bash transgender people.
Right.
But there's nothing in that for me. But one thing
Right.
about Outlaw Radio is we're going to talk about subjects and we're going to talk about them on different levels from different perspectives. And one of them you might agree with, one of them you might not agree with. But when you start talking about suck this and suck that and fuck you and all that, it's not even worth my energy. It's not even worth my energy. So I'm not even going to entertain it. And she said, and how many have been killed by another black kid who doesn't have a proper upbringing and education? Other than if you cry as a boy, you gay. Y'all be focused on the wrong stuff. Go raise your kids and stop killing each other over gang name. Once again, that does not apply to me. My kids are doing very well.
Right.
Vernon said 10 little monkeys jumped up in the bed Used to be 10 little niggas jumping in the bed, right? Okay.
Like
Well,
the
shit,
Clear.
catch a
I'm
tiger
gonna
by
buy
a
it.
toe
I'm like,
used to
what
be catch a nigga by the toe. All them rhymes were racial.
Ladella Greer says poverty causes violence, which I totally agree with. I agree with it. I think if
Yeah,
you're going to talk
I
about
agree
preventing
with that
violence,
also.
if you're going to talk about preventing violence, you definitely got to deal with poverty. Welcome back, Vince. As you can see, you left, and it didn't take me long to get it cracking. Joy Phillips, Joy Phillips, he said, I agree with the juice lady on that one. Keep your mind on what was and still is. No harm intended. Let me see. Oh shit. Tasia Marie, she said someone did comment and say that I had to pull over. No, somebody said it in the comment section and I read it. But your assumption that it was our opinion was incorrect, right? Because nobody on here said anything. That was Deion James who said that, and he's in the chat room. So if you want to bang out with him. Pause. Courtney said that store has been selling. Oh no, I already read that one. I'm sorry, I'm being remedial right now.
you be doing? Okay.
Dion said, tell him, Bay. Deion James, who is not being truthful. So okay, so now they can address each other. Said Vince went to go get an iPhone.
Uh-oh.
Vince, did you go get your iPhone? You back now? No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Vince. They gonna blame me and say Kid muted his mic.
No, I got an up-to-date computer, so I don't have to use my iPhone.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, Vince.
You know, Kamar got that antenna. You got to pull up the hook to the select TV antenna on top of your house and shit.
Right.
Kamar's
On
still
my
rocking that
laptop.
joint. Right. He got
It's
the radar dish in his backyard.
on my laptop.
See, he froze. Said niggas don't set trip no more. Motherfuckers got phones now. JoJo's cracking up laughing because I guess we got the heat from the trans person. Let me see. Ladella's going at me. He said Kev on the flip phone. I'm on the flip phone. I'm on the flip phone. My shit's state of the art. My shit is definitely not a flip phone. But I love it. I love it. And you know what? I need to get a flip phone, a shirt or a hoodie made with a flip phone on it and say Outlaw Radio, call in. Don't be taking my shit either. Don't be trying to. I don't want to see this at the Sherman.
I'm like goddamn 50 Cent around here. I'll be the trademark that shit so quick.
Right.
You trying to do it, Kev? I'm suing you.
She said,
Damn.
She said, Deion, stop it. She's talking about Deion. She said, Deion James, or is it you? Niggas can't handle the battle within your own sexuality, B. Okay, she's mad. She's still going in with Deion in the chat room about that. I think that's the first time we ever had a transgender person call into the show.
You know what though?
Hey, Kev, make sure you keep up with that conversation.
You know what though? I think people hypersensitive on both sides. Like, well, not when people getting killed, but just the whole thing. Like I've seen on Facebook within the last couple of days, that Creed 3 is coming out. So Michael B. Jordan and the other brother got like a picture where they hugging and shit. Like it looked like some brotherly shit. I don't know. I didn't think too much about it, but like there's been whole forums of motherfuckers just talking about how, just how Michael B. Jordan always seemed down low and shit. It's like y'all getting all this shit because niggas is hugging. So I made a TikTok today just telling fathers to make sure you hug your goddamn sons so they're not threatened by first off, hug your children so they know the difference between healthy touch and touch they need to tell me about type shit. But then also so children ain't so hypersensitive. Like nowadays, niggas is scared of niggas either at seeing them as an op or seeing them as, oh man, that's some gay shit. Don't touch me. Don't smile at me. Don't like everything ain't a threat to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I can't let no nigga hug me like that. His head too close to my head. Like, I don't know. I grew up with my father. My father's affectionate. I grew up to be an affectionate ass father. My boys are 18, 17, and 2. I still hug them, kiss them on the cheek, kiss them on the forehead type shit. So but I was just saying on both sides, motherfuckers need to get it together and stop being so hypersensitive about either feeling like motherfuckers trying to bash them or feeling like motherfuckers trying to fuck them.
All right, all right.
Yes.
Um, Deborah Jenkins, Mama Jenkins said, "Let him sell his shit." She said, I said, "You don't have to buy it." She said, "I'm 71 years old and my mama had an Angel Mama cookie jar, and I wish I kept it. I was thinking about going over there. You know, black folks love black figurines. Old people had that shit in every
Right.
room."
Yeah,
She's
darky
talking about
icon.
the antique, the racist figurines that they sell at this
Eh,
antique shop. Tasia Marie Sloan said, "I won't smoke with any bitch that's transphobic. All the smoke." Well, I mean, you have to look somewhere else for it because there ain't nobody, not myself, right? But I mean,
Right.
people, and hold on, people out there who have an opinion, pop your shit too. Like if you feel like if you standing against it, and you got something to say against it, it's Outlaw Radio, and see this. You say what you say on here. I'm
Right.
not
Do
gonna
you see
tell
right here?
nobody.
Poverty don't always cause violence. We see this person is very aggressive, and this ain't even got nothing to do with poverty. This see, sometimes motherfuckers are just aggressive.
Dion is at she said Dion added again. They didn't deserve to die because someone wanted to be DL. So I'm missing the conversation that they having.
yeah,
She
that's
said,
wild.
"Quit saying they thought." I'm behind y'all, so let me try. Damn, I am far behind in the chat room. Holy cheat! Somebody else can take the chat room for me. I don't know somebody because I want to. If somebody else could take the chat room for me, because I want to talk to Vince a little bit about some other things with the city. Because right now we have and the police thing every year around this time, the police issues with the police ramp up, right? And so we've had just in a week, we went on this roller coaster where we actually had some people perish in police custody, then a police officer lost his life, and then a police officer took someone's life. And so there's questions abound about all the different kinds of aspects of what's going on. Now in Milwaukee, we have this dysfunctional fire police chief, the commission,
Commission.
we the fire and police commission, and their leadership has been crazy. Milwaukee really, how long have we really had a sitting chief now? Because for a while it was an interim chief and it was like, this thing from Morales. So when you look at the communities, right? Because we're always talking about violence. We're always talking about what causes violence. We're always talking about the most violent areas. But what is the issue that we have why the police can't actually keep the community safe? Is because some people say because of the backlash from the George Floyd thing, a lot of police said, "Well, I'm just gonna not do shit no more." And then you hear the police saying we just don't have enough people. So because obviously you look at a city like Milwaukee, and it basically starts on East Capitol and ends on West Capitol for all intents and purposes from an East-West perspective. And the police here can't control the crime. So what do you think is the reason and what would you suggest? Because you're saying y'all Vince is still running. We're gonna promote that. He's a write-in candidate. What do you think needs to be done so the police can keep the neighborhood safe
Well,
or
there
help
has
keep
to
it
be
safe?
I think there's a lack of trust. I'll put it this way, Kev. Uh, I left the city, the country when I was 18 years old.
Hold
When I
on,
came,
caller.
when I came back,
Okay.
one of the things that I feared was being stopped by a police officer. So vicariously, we don't trust the police, period. So how do you build that trust? They have to get out in the community, and so we're not out here arresting people. So let's say, for example, what they've got now is this thing. If you call it the non-emergency number, and you said somebody's playing loud music, well, what they want you to do is say, are you willing to go and go to court and testify against them? No, take that out. Why did they ever institute that? If they playing loud music, if a police officer walk up to the house and they're playing loud music, why do I have to go down to the courthouse or whatever to testify against this person? You got it, write it up and be done with it. Go in there, tell the person to turn their music down and have a friendly conversation and get to know people. They are distanced from the community. So when you lower that gap between the police officers outside the city and just riding around, and we have police officers that's working for DRS down the street. When we call them over there to talk to them, say, well, we're not here for that. So they're not friendly to the community. So the whole makeup of the police department and how they treat people and how they think about people. And then you have to vet, like I say, you vet the candidates, you got to vet the police. What's their history? Did they grow up in a situation in the community where they hated niggas or they hate white people? They're not being vetted. So there's a lot of things that haven't been done. That's it's kind of too late. And even when you look at it from the Office of Violence Prevention perspective, at the time they were talking about defunding the police. So the police officers said, okay, you're taking money away from our budget. We got fewer police officers. Now you create this Office of Violence Prevention. They don't have any authority to do anything. They can't help us, but you're expecting them to do something. So you've taken away from us. You're not even putting people through the academy. Now we're crying that we don't have enough police officers. So it's almost like, okay, we've been doing this thing for 50 or 60 years, and somebody wants to say, how are you going to fix this thing in one day? It ain't going to happen. It's going to take years. It's going to take communication, and nobody's willing to get in there to be the negotiated advocate on both sides. Like they're saying, there has to be a meeting at the table, and there has to be some decisions making. In Milwaukee, one of the problems is that we've got too many silos. We've got the NAACP, we got the Milwaukee Urban League, we got the Milwaukee Urban League Young Professionals, we got the fellows, we got the frats, we got the sororities, and all of them take care of each other. Until all of these people can come together at the table at one time and figure out what we're going to do, not what I'm going to do, then you're going to still continue to see the same shit that you're seeing. And the other thing that has to happen is our school system, but it doesn't start at the school. The problem with Milwaukee is all of the dysfunctions in these households. That's the problem.
Okay, now I do have a caller, but I want to say this, caller. I don't know if you are assisting your sister, but one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not.
Well, I just want to. I know what you're going to say. I'm calling in because I did want to say that I apologize for her outburst, because when you guys were saying, well, let me get more on it, I thought that maybe I could, because you guys were asking about the transgenders and like why they're being killed. And the young lady, even the 3 deaths that you mentioned when you were saying that it happened in 9 months, one of them was like actually her sister.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh my God. But I tagged her in there because I'm like, well, maybe you can give them like the inside, because that's the life, because she's a transgender.
Right.
So
right.
I was thinking that she could probably give you guys a highlight on the inside of something. And it just went totally left.
No, it's all
it
good.
It did go totally left.
It's all good.
And I do apologize for that. I've had all good intentions, but she came in when I tagged her. She came in the conversation when you guys were just talking about, but it was a serious topic. Like, you guys were defending and saying that it's not right, regardless to what a person's sexuality is. And because I knew her story, right, and I know her story, it was really sensitive to her because she came in at the wrong time instead of like sitting in there and hearing what you guys have to say. Because you mentioned the young lady, those are the 3 girls in the last month, her sister. This was literally not even 3 days ago.
Okay. And so
I just wanted to call and say, I felt like I had to call in.
It's all good. It's all good. And like I say, we welcome anybody's opinion, but the one thing that we're going to have to do is, in order for a conversation to happen, there has to be 2 people communicating.
Absolutely.
So I'll give anybody like, an opportunity to speak their mind. But once you show that you're not respecting the mic or whatever, then I got to just hang up on you. And I'm not even petty. I'm not a blocker or nothing like that. I'll just hang up, so it's all love. And I appreciate you for tuning into the show.
I was trying to pause the conversation through the chat with her up there. Like, right. Be quiet. Just wait, listen. Because I just understand her. But you can't blame them for, we can't hold other people accountable for, the things that have happened to us. Because it happened to us, we have to hold the people that actually did it to us accountable.
Yeah.
So she came in at the wrong part of the conversation. I was thinking she could bring the positive and kind of enlighten you guys about, it's not a world, but it is a world.
It's all good.
It might have been. It's just too soon. They still raw, understandably so. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they have close ties to it. So it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
So no harm, no foul. Ain't nobody tripping. It's all good. Yep.
That sounds good to me. I just wanted to do it because I'm like, dang, I didn't. What did I do?
This is what we do. So ain't nobody's first rodeo. So this is what we do. So we get it. It's just certain ground rules that you have, housekeeping that you have to do. So I'm always do that. Yep. So thank you for clarifying that, and condolences to the family of that individual who was murdered.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna get back in the chat though.
All right.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
the chat is popping. The chat is popping. I see some interesting stuff. Byron says Chicago isn't safe right now. They killed a cop earlier. No different than Milwaukee or any other city. I had 3 children under the age of 13 killed in my city within the last 96 hours. Typical, huh? Dion says you a man, and it sounds like you trick men. Dion. And look, I said that and got the clarity and hopped right back
Right.
into the bullshit, didn't I? Shame on me, man. And I'm just reading the comments, man. I'm literally Ron Burgundy. I just read what's on the teleprompter, right?
Very true.
Byron Terry said anyone can get it. All of y'all on the show included. I mean, it's all good, but like my mom used to say, you got to bring ass to get ass. I'm not ain't no punks over here, and I'm not. You know what I mean? Like not that I'm looking for that, but you know what I'm saying. We don't fold like that. Ain't no, and it's not. Once again, this is all about us really being able to have conversations. This is obviously a tough conversation, right? Do we not pride ourselves all the time by the fact that we are willing to have tough conversations, right? Vince is talking about some things that are political and some people feel a certain way about it. The hot spot is a hot button topic in that district. The lack of voting. You see how many areas we didn't cover tonight and had these conversations and nobody got threatened. So I don't want to get it to create an environment where that's what's happening, where bitch, you gonna listen to me. No, I'll hang up on you. Not saying she said that, but the sentiment was there.
Yeah.
And Byron said anybody can get it. Yeah, but remember that. I like it when somebody says that to me. Anybody can get it. I'd be like, yeah, including you. You the one who said it. So it just don't apply to who you saying it to. Jessica Trey said, "Oh Lord, why I tag her? They are good guys. That's why I tag you. I'm glad you feel like we good people." She said we're transphobic. It is what it is. I'm not like it's not a way that I can convince you that I'm not. JoJo, my big homie said, "See, this is why shit go left in that area. Attitude. Just calm down. Damn." Tiasha said, "Tell the
Why we
Chicago
gotta be
caller."
scared of gay people?
Well, I mean, she's standing her ground.
Like,
I just said that. Tell the Chicago caller there are transgender women here that lie about it themselves. Not all, but there are a lot. And the alphabet people say the same thing.
Right.
She said, no, she said you have to listen. She said, how many have been killed by your own black brothers? We killing each other. Oh, I'm just catching this chat room up, y'all. Y'all working me out since nobody volunteered to take it when I asked for help.
I mean, I took it when I was in there.
Right, but you was reading them to yourself.
I responded to some and
she said, pick up my call. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. You have to listen, Tasia. I'm not doing that. We don't support no unsolicited banging on no solitary outlaw. We always say that. She said, stop killing us because y'all DL. You saying y'all once again. I've been married 21 years. Joey said, preach, rail, and Kamar. Nobody trying to disrespect that person. Everybody chiming in. Cache is my sister. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Dion said, please do not refer to a man as a woman because regardless of whatever surgery they went through, it's still a man. Dion he's not backing up, y'all.
Dion not.
Cache is the girl who just passed 2 days ago. She was transgender. She said, keep my sister Cache name out y'all mouth. Okay, if that's what you right. Like I didn't even know. He said I just got warned for that statement Ewok made. So I'm just running through it, y'all, because I want to get back to Vince again because I want to allow him more time to speak on. Because now I didn't even know Vince hadn't even told me that he was running as a write-in candidate. So I want to focus on that a little bit. Byron says when the baby, child, deacon, transgender, ABC, LGBTQ plus grandmama, and average Joe can get killed. I woke up, retired 502. I'm concerned. He is a retired law enforcement officer. Dion said, anyways, Courtney, you looking good as always. Oh my God. She said the young lady with the tired box braid said something.
You know, these braids brand new. I just got these braids yesterday. And they not just braids. They ain't even box braids. They not. They brand new. They ain't tied yet.
I'm confused.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Hey man, this fun, man.
I said, oh my God. Dion said that man trolling. He said, I ain't gonna argue with no homosexual. Oh my goodness, man. I can't take my outlaws nowhere, man. We gonna fight, man. It's like going to Capitol Court back in the days.
I thought you was gonna be like the people on the radio. I'm like, oh, I can't read that. No, Kev reads them all.
Yeah, because I be wanting everybody to have a voice, man. I do,
You
and I
asked
try.
for it.
Right.
You
I
got
do
it.
try. I do try. She said, "I'm sorry, but that's Courtney's." Right, you're right, Courtney. I like the way you sum that up. We talk about everything. Let me see. Ladella Greer said A, B, C, D, E, F, G community is winning and the black community is still getting shit. Um, oh man, she just going at Courtney. Yeah, we ain't, I ain't gonna read that. Let me go. Yeah, man. So Vince,
You ain't do
man.
nothing.
Vince, we want to get back to you. Ladella saying 3 trans get killed is a big deal while our kids are suffering in our underserved communities, lack of education, lack of good paying jobs. Stop it. Focus on the real problem. Yeah, we've been talking about these problems. We've been talking about them. We talk about them every Monday and Thursday at 7:30. Ruben Anderson said, because keeping the community destabilized means job security. Also, in truth, who cares about what takes place in the black and brown communities? It's all about white supremacy and their control. Uh, Courtney said, I was taught not to argue with men and I won't have a good night. Lord have mercy. Y'all are
Damn,
some.
I deleted that. It still showed up. See, that's the thing, Kev. You ain't supposed to read everything.
Okay.
I
My
deleted
bad.
it, Kev.
My bad. I love it because I feel like I get to interact with
Hey,
the
maybe
people who
that's
listen to the show. Go ahead,
right.
Kamar.
Nothing.
So Vince,
Staying out of it.
Yeah.
right? So Vince, man, welcome
Yeah.
to Outlaw Radio, man. It's Law and Order, man.
Is it?
Never a dull moment, right? Vince is an outlaw. I gotta Vince. Man. Well, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah. Let me say this: is that my purpose is for awareness, awareness of what happened under Marvin Pratt, what happened under Shanti Hamilton, and what's going to happen under either of these two candidates. And what I've done is I've done my research. I'm looking at their finance reports, and I see who's on them. It's the same people. It's the same thing. So nothing's going to change until we start wanting to change. I'm just trying to make awareness that I'm out here. I'm going to be out here as long as I'm here to advocate for for my elders and the children and women and men that want to be productive citizens. There's no advocacy out here for people. And in District 1, I've been the voice over here, and I'm going to continue to be the voice as long as I'm here. Now, whether or not I become alderperson, that's a different story. And it's not about becoming an alderperson. It's about everybody trying to make people aware of what's going on in our city.
Okay.
It's atrocious. I mean, our children. I mean, I left Milwaukee in 1986. I came back. This is not the city that I left. There's just no camaraderie. The men don't talk. I've been blocked by the We Black We Golf, by Reggie Moore. When he became Officer of Violence Prevention, I called that brother. I said, congratulations, because what you guys have in that book is exactly what needs to happen in this city. He's never called me back. Nobody calls back. Nobody wants to communicate in this city. So it's not going to get any better. And I've been in these houses with these kids, that my philosophy is that I mentor, and I still mentor. If a kid don't like his mother, I can't do nothing with him because he's bound to kill me and his mother. So we have to, like I talked to Courtney and Rail, we've got these institutions in this city who says we're going to take this grant money into these kids, or the child protective services. We're going to take this money, but when this kid turns 18, they get kicked out in the streets and nobody's doing nothing for them to help them. So I've known kids that said, hey, Vince, I was in this organization for all of these years, and when I turned 18, these people didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. He said, yeah, I'm 10 toes down to the streets right now. I could give a fuck about anybody, but we're not addressing these issues. We talk about solving the problems. Well, the problems are in these houses and these people that are taking all of this money that's saying that they're fixing these families. They're not doing a damn thing. And these
Right.
kids are going to continue. I mentored an 10-year-old. He's 11 years old now and still in cars. I mean, Kevin, I've seen it all. So in this district and my field of social work and mentoring, I've seen all of these families and all of these people, and I'm gonna tell you, I've been in these houses. It is not going to get any better because we are attacking the problem from the outside and we're not going in the inside. We're saying, send me your kids. When you send them back home, they're still in the same environment. It doesn't change. It's called trauma, and we're not dealing with the traumatic part of it. And I'm just trying to make awareness that everything that's happening in District 1 is traumatizing everybody. The elders don't come outside. Now on my block, we've fixed some things, and we've got it. The women felt the most wonderful thing I saw this summer, the women talking to each other and their kids outside playing. But it's only happened in this area because the men on this block are taking care of business. And what we don't have in these communities, we don't have a lot of men that's willing to step out on that block and take care of business. That's why it's going haywire. And this killing is going to continue. And it's going to get worse. And it's going to go downtown. It's going to come out to the suburbs. It's going to be everywhere. You're not going to be able to stop it because nobody is trying to fix it. Everybody, like I said, nobody's trying to fix it because it's valuable. It's money. It supports juvenile justice. It supports the lawyers and the DAs and all these people. That's their income. They need us. But until we come together as a people and say, hey, we can fix this our damn self. We don't need to send our people to child protective services, and we can keep our kids out of those systems, but we don't want to come together and to do that. We just want to fight and get that grant money.
So right, and I like what Ladella says. We all know the problems. We need solutions, and that's what Kamar always says, and that's why we try to be solution based radio. And sometimes, but I do also believe sometimes you have to reiterate and make points before you can talk about the solution. So, like one of my things has always been the poverty in the city. Anytime we have the income disparities that we have, right? And so we talk about object poverty. We know that, and especially when it's generational poverty, that community tends to live with a different mentality. And what's not coincidental um 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 with this is that the poorest people are placed right in the same area. They're packed in like sardines. Now, until we start to really go after some of these companies that are establishing their headquarters here, or even if it means going out to solicit more, there has to be some dealings made for them to make sure and guarantee that they will hire people of color. Or else what we're going to have is more of the same, which is, yeah, your corporate headquarters is downtown, but nobody from Milwaukee works there. So they reaping the benefits of it. And so this is why I tell people that downtown thing became problematic, because for me, what it looks like is a seed that was planted. It was the seed of gentrification, and how they built it out was kind of slick in that, why do you have a bunch of luxury apartments and hotels downtown and there's really no finance, no shopping district really? It's no, I mean, who's downtown doesn't have a shopping area or a movie theater? But what they said is, look, highbrow white people won't live in these cruddy communities, but they'll live in luxury housing downtown until we can get these neighborhoods flushed out, and then let them buy this prime Brewer Hill real estate and all this kind of stuff. The fact that philanthropies have been, that we never had philanthropy organizations smack dab in the middle of our community growing up. Everything is being placed strategically. So for me, the only way Black people will be able to survive this is if you give us access to viable employment. People say be an entrepreneur. That's one perspective. That's cool too. But for those of us who work, who have careers, you got to knock the glass ceiling back a little bit. And so I would like, I laughed at Milwaukee County with all of their anti-racist rhetoric, and they were saying, well, we've determined that racism is a health issue in the community. And I was like, no shit, Sherlock, we know that, but also you can't tell me about the problem when 85 to 90% of your administrative positions are filled by not only white people, but white people who don't even live in the community. You just talking out your ass, right? So it's like, okay, we hear what you're saying. So I agree with him. Like, you know the problem, you know what's going on. So let's do something about it. What would be our ask if Mayor Johnson walked in this room right now? Does everybody on this show have a legitimate ask from him? Something you can say, you know what, Mayor? If he said, I'm imitating him now. Hey, Kevin, like Outlaw Radio, like, come on, tell me what you want. Right? I would have a definitive ask for him. And that would be to find organizations to come here that will make concessions to deal with the income disparities and guarantee that they will hire Black people. That would be my ask. A lot of people wouldn't, oh man, we want to be free. That would be their ask for him. Like, you got to free us. And he's like, I don't do that. Vince, I know you probably got an ask. What would your ask be?
Well, I think when I look at it, is so we have a company that's leaving the community right now, taking 500 livable wage paying jobs. So my thing is that okay, we got MATC, we've got training. So and the way it works is that you train the people to do the work, and if you're not doing it, but also Kevin, you also have to have a willing workforce that's willing to go to MATC to take these trade skills and take them to these employers. That's not happening. I mean, I've been working with some young people right now. They don't want to work. So we're at a kind of oxymoron. But my thing would be, how do you change the city, the inner city, where you're going to attract new investment and new manufacturing companies? So I've been in this district for all these years, and we haven't had any new manufacturing companies come in here, but they continually to move out, and they don't move that far. They move to Menominee Falls.
Right.
They could stay here. We say that all of the manufacturing jobs moved out, but now on WNOV, I'm getting questioned. Well, there's nothing but white people there anyway. No, we got MATC. We got a bunch of black people. I went back to school to work in a manufacturing company when I first got out of the military and came here. That's what I did because I had to have the skills. I went and took the classes. I needed to take blueprint reading and all these other classes so I can fit into the manufacturing. I worked my way up through the manufacturing into the office, became a cost estimator, and continued to go to school. We have to have a level of motivation in this city too, but we got to clean the city up too to be able to attract new investment and businesses to want to come here. And you have to ask yourself, if I had a business, would I bring it to this nasty ass city?
Okay. But you know what? I heard you say clean up the city. See, because that sounds. But first, let me go back because does anybody else on the panel, Juice Lady, Rail, Kamar, do you know what your ask would be if the mayor walked in and said anything you want, I'll make happen? What would be your ask? Let's start with Courtney. Courtney, what would be your ask? I can't hear you. Can't hear you, Courtney.
I'm with you, Kev.
My bad.
I'm with you because I feel like one of the roots of the violence and everything going on is poverty in our community. So we got to start working at something that's on the bottom level, man.
Okay.
We give
Courtney,
people something to do. We give people options. You know what I'm saying? That's going to create more avenues, I feel like.
I want folks to give me all the abandoned buildings and to give me the money to pay for all the reconstruction so I can pay all the different black crews. Some black crews, because it's crazy. You want to hire a black crew, but the black crews don't want to work all the time. Whereas you see the Mexicans out there in the motherfucking rain. They was on my mama's roof in the rain, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, you always talk about we want to give each other jobs, but niggas be lazy, man. No, damn. Working. It's just a little drizzle. What you doing? So, I want all the abandoned buildings. I want you to give me the funds to be able to get them fixed and to furnish them and some money to be able to operate them for like 2 years. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Like
you want your own reparations package. You're like, fuck them. I'll tell you what you can do for me. Fuck the community. Give me all the shit. Real, what would be your ask?
Shit. I stay a block away from this Walmart that's shutting down, man. So, my ask, honestly, my ask would be, give me that motherfucking Walmart. Let me turn it into a growth facility where I can hire people in the community and teach them life enriching skills that they could use to feed their family. So I would like to turn some of these old ass grocery stores into hubs where we can do indoor growing to provide food for the community, and hopefully enough food that we could actually start shipping out and bringing money back into the community. Because I mean, just this Walmart closing, man, I hated going there, but I still was able to shoot there like every night after work to grab whatever nicks and knacks, tools and fuels I needed. But now, I got to either go to all these Woodmans or somewhere, further than fucking 10 minutes away when I used to be able to go 2 minutes away. So I think that's the best use of some of these abandoned ass warehouses would be to set up indoor greenhouses where we can grow hemp. I'm a licensed hemp processor, so I could teach motherfuckers how to grow the hemp, how to dry it, cure it, shit like that. But then also fuck with some aquaponics and hydroponics so that we can produce tomatoes, lettuce, all this other shit, so that we don't have no food deserts.
Okay. Food deserts. And a lot of the
Ooh.
reason, see, hunger make you do some strange things. That's why they call hunger pangs. People say hunger pain. It's actually pang, P-A-N-G, because when it hit, it make you start thinking about, look, I got to do what I got to do. And I'm fortunate enough to, once again, I was raised during the time I was born here when black people here had the highest standard of living in the country, and crime was low because
Mhm.
people, there was opportunities and you could make money. And as the money went away, so did the morals, and so people started wilding out. Now, B Dog, I heard you turn your device down. What you got for us tonight, my brother?
Hey, man, I just want to call in and show my love. Man, I'm not going to comment on the politics, but I did vote for Janet. And Janet,
Also, Shaywitz.
okay, I'm glad you told me it sounds terrible, so let me shut you off.
Yeah, you just gotta cut your all your audio off in the background.
Okay.
That echo kills me every time. It'd be like 3 minutes later.
No,
So
man, so I just shut him off. Okay, so I wanted to say, man, it was real messed up to find out that the young man that killed the Common Council president's niece had been sentenced by Janet Protasevich. I think I said her name right. But anyway, you know what's going on in our community. Everyone else knows what's going on in our community. We can continue to do like white folks did all those years when they saw niggas being oppressed. Oh, I didn't know that happened in our neighborhood. Oh, I didn't know that was happening. And now you see it's happening. You see what's going on. You know what's taking place. I have no sympathy message for any criminal that's driving a car and running from the police and gets out of the car with a gun in their hand and ends up shot. I don't want to hear your mama's stories, respectfully. I don't want to hear how you tried to change your life. No nigger gets out of a car with a gun in their hand when they're being chased by the police. You will be shot. When I was working, you will be shot, okay? And I'll take my chances, go through the court process and see how everything plays out. At the end game, when I know they didn't even mess with you, now they're going to sue the city that I live in, county that I live in, and reap some benefits when they didn't even fuck with you. After the fact, you're dead.
okay.
Follow me, okay? And then my last thing I want to say is I got played on my last vote because I didn't know. And it shouldn't have taken a common council president's niece, high profile victim, when I have had friends, associates, and family members being murdered by DV. When a dude don't want to mess with you no more, move on. When a chick don't want to mess with you, move on. If you are gay, lesbian, LGBTQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever you want to be, tell that person up front so they know. And they don't have to be trying to figure that shit out when they try to, get service.
Okay. You a fool, B.
I love you, man.
All right, man. Love you too, bro.
I'm gonna leave it at that, man. But at the same time, love the platform, man. Just tell the truth, man. What happens to just telling the motherfucker the truth?
Right. Well, no doubt. Always.
If you and I'm not a street nigga. I lived my life, and I had two parents. I was 5'0". I dealt with niggas that's not 5'0". I knew niggas that you street. You're not even police, so you shouldn't even be telling me this.
Right.
And on a reverse side, when I see something happen, what happened to you? What happened to my neighbor that was gonna tell the story so that person can be eliminated from my neighborhood? I don't want criminals around me. I don't all that no snitching bullshit. That's for criminals. If you're not a gang member or a criminal, you shouldn't be talking about no snitching. If you are average, everyday, broke ass nigga, don't have no money, and you work from job to job, paycheck to paycheck, you don't have nothing to do with politics. Motherfuckers don't even vote.
Right.
Don't be trying to put yourself in a category with the musicians or rappers. I like Charleston White. I'm not no Charleston White nigga. I'm Byron Cherry. But at the same time, he's telling a lot of things that a lot of people need to hear. Stop taking the funk. Don't get involved until don't wait to get involved until one of your family members get murdered.
There you go.
Or slaughtered
Right,
in the
right,
street.
right.
And now all of a sudden, now you concerned and you want justice.
Right.
You should want justice out the gate. When your daughter or your son walks out the door, gets on the school bus, and goes to school, you should expect them to be safe. If there's niggers in the school that don't respect the rules, they should be expelled. I'm not one of those, oh, they should have a right to go to school. And no, they don't have a right. 1% should not screw up the 99%, and the 99% should have enough balls. That's what's going on. Motherfuckers are scared. White folks scared. Black folks scared. Everybody's scared because they don't want to live up to the rules. There's law. Do what you're supposed to do. You don't get a pat on the back for doing what the fuck you supposed to do, and you damn sure will not get a pass if I see you commit a crime in front of me. It's not snitching. Bitch ass nigga, I'm locking you up. I'm getting rid of you.
Hold on, B. Get to keep your pressure down now.
Bitch ass, he said bitch ass nigga.
There's a lot of people in our community that need to be gotten rid of, okay?
Okay, got you.
You know your son is a bitch ass nigga and he's robbing and he came home with a Kia and he don't have a driver license or a job to buy a car. So why wouldn't you question him about, boy, where you get that car from? Oh, you know, grandma, oh, mama, oh, googly ass nigga. Okay, bye.
All right, B-Dog.
Was that it? That's how I ended?
That's B-Dog. He dropped the mic on us. He dropped the mic, right?
He's right.
All right. Shout out to Sair from Hidden Heart Radio. I seen him in like, damn, what did I walk into? It's Outlaw Radio, man, on the hump day, man. It's what we do. Sometimes it get hot.
You gotta go back.
Right.
Yes. Hold on. Got another call.
Down today.
Caller, you live. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Rube. I just want to just come what the brother just said. Everybody entitled to their own opinion. I get it. But most of what you said, whatever your name is, Byron, reflects a mindset inconsistent with the appearance of fairness. In fact, you're all over the place, bro. And then I have a problem with all that nigga talk. See, if you treat them like niggas, that's what they're going to be. You treat them like men, then they'll become men. I think a lot of things that he had to say was just really totally out of order. And then at the same time, you trying to insert this other stuff that you put in. Whatever people are, no matter what they are, that's what they are. I ain't got a hell in hell to judge him for, and I heard him talking on that. But I just want to just say this to him, man. I don't know where you at. You said that we follow you. I can't follow you on anything you said. You used to be fine. Oh, wow, that's kind of interesting to me. Oh, if I see somebody, I want to have them locked up and all this. But now I don't want to hear all that. Do something to improve these brothers. Help them to develop better definitions of themselves rather than tearing them down. Because that's exactly what he just spent a whole 3.5 minutes doing. And it made absolutely no sense to me. So with respect to the sisters on here, I just want to say this is Outlaw Radio. This is probably one of the best things kicking in the city besides hitting holler radio. So when you come here, you got to expect this. I had a problem with this in the beginning too, but I had to realize everybody entitled to their own opinion. Don't necessarily mean that everybody over here hating transgenders or whatever. I don't hate nobody. I ain't got, you should respect the fact that when you come here, you got to know what to expect because these brothers keep it real and they keeping it hard. And if you can't deal with it, then you just got to get out the show. You just got to move around because this is some real stuff right here. And the conversation is so powerful tonight. It really is. But that brother just took me on a total spin because I don't know who he is. I don't know what he stands for. And I don't even understand whether or not, I just don't get it. Who is he? What is he talking about? At the end of the day, it's our responsibility to try to help these so-called niggas. It's our responsibility to try to teach them different values, especially being old school like that. You should know better. You should know that you want to do something better to uplift your people, but instead, you're just sitting here talking this rhetoric and it ain't going nowhere. So with that, I'm done with it. I thank you for this time. And it's been an interesting show. One of the better shows I've listened to since I've been listening to this place, to this show. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. All that other stuff, don't take that stuff to heart. Don't be mad about when they talk about because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And half the people when they talking, like, come on, you guys are doing a great job tonight. All you are. I'm proud of you, Vince. But dude, will you please just get with the program and stop talking about, putting our people down? Won't you try to help us? All that nigga stuff. You sound like a house nigga to me. You sound like somebody who's been programmed to think that our people ain't about nothing. So I don't like all that. Go ahead and arrest a dog or something like that because you ain't doing nothing on our end. I can't stand that type of mess. Good night to y'all. I love y'all, man.
All right, my brother. We appreciate it. Listen. Like I said, y'all, this has been one very interesting. Vince, this is what we asked for, right? Vince is like
Outlaw Radio,
right? It's Outlaw Radio. Adela says, we got to invest in our schools, better food, better paid teachers, programs in school at not MATC. She said, and I'm just running down because we're about to close out in a second. Y'all need to evaluate Milwaukee and crush everything, then start from scratch. Businesses y'all have there now constantly getting closed or shot up or left behind. Milwaukee is the city of division and dusty. It sounds like urban America though. I don't see Milwaukee having problems that every other city in this country don't have that has a large urban population. Jessica said, I can't even live in my own community. I had to move to Whitefish Bay. So my kids had the best and won't experience horrible things going on. Yeah, but then when you get out there, you got to deal with them putting their foot in your ass because you're out there.
Right.
And the white way ain't always the right way, right? Like white ice ain't necessarily colder. Mama Jenkins said they got to take a blunt break, Courtney. She said Midtown been dead for years because Burrell was talking about the Walmart that's closing, which is going to leave a huge hole. Ruben Anderson, I'm not listening to nobody who not educated on trans and make up assumption and spread false information. More power to you. She said Milwaukee is dusty. I love it. It's where I'm from. It's my home. Ladella said white flight took place in 1989-90 in our schools and all the money and programs left with them. You have to build work ethic young with quality education and opportunity. Okay. I agree. I'm a former school teacher myself, so I already know the ins and I know the complicated nature of MPS and what they deal with, and I know the criticism of it, and I know where they could do better. So I'm riding with you on that, Ladella. She said y'all need to stop being judgmental and actually come together and build one another up and get the shit done. Oh, he said I feel you, but we must respect everyone's opinion, allowing them to alter what we are. This is a good show. Ruben's riding for the Outlaws. That's what's happening. Okay, so we got a new listener, Dr. L. Grantina Davis. Dr. L. Gantina Davis. Wisconsin per se used to be the land of opportunity back in the 90s and 2000s. Once the violence and drug activity started, they took away those opportunities. See, I come from a whole different era before the 90s and the 2000s when the crackhead when the violence was going on. And Vince comes from an era before that where it was actually supposed to be the good old days. But Vince said, I'm still out of here. I'm still going to Guam. I'm still moving to Guam.
Well, Kevin, I think when I even when I was in Vegas, I'm looking and I'm looking at the valley and I'm looking at the hills and the mountains and I'm thinking and I'm looking around. I say we don't, we built it, but we don't own any of it. So we don't really have nothing coming in this country, to be honest with you. Not very much of
Right.
anything. They've got it all. I mean, look around us. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, we built it off of our labor. They got rich and they're able to build all of these communities and all of this stuff. And we don't have any land. We don't have anything.
She said Dr. L. Grantina. Well, she said we're saying that trans. See, she's still running with the fact that we said that
Because she
trans.
tagged all these people. That's one of her
Right.
people. So she
Okay.
tagged them.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Let
She
me
said
talk
one
about
of
the
them
people
said
in the
that's probably where
comments.
Cache
Yeah.
got killed. I don't know. Sad because living in
Go
Whitefish
back and
Bay.
re-listen to the whole show. They'll see, you know what I mean? We wasn't biased to nothing. We wasn't putting nobody down or nothing like that. Just go back and listen to the whole show.
See, the funniest part is I believe I preference that conversation. Like now, if we go back, and I hate to, whatever, but I preface the conversation by saying what's going on. Why
Right.
all of a sudden this rash of killings?
Right.
Is it because of this? Is it because of that? Is it because of this? People chimed in from the chat room and said, I believe it's this, I feel this way, and this, that, and the third, as they say in the hood. So that's the whole context of the situation. So to whoever she's telling what happened, just go back and listen to yourself. The show they're all archived. Because I never, because we even spoke about the fact that maybe they're not tricking the men are doing it on the down low, and then not want to get found out.
I said all that. I had you care. I said
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Kev,
Courtney.
I'm glad you archived your show because then WNOV wouldn't even put me out.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Type shit. Right. I mean, that's gatekeepers. Jessica says, sad because living in Whitefish Bay, you watch people care about how clean the streets are, care about opportunities for youth, and how our community can care less. I had the chance, but to move from, she said, I had no choice but to move from Milwaukee years ago for my kids. Literally, probably 3 black families here scratching my head. So we are noticeable. Milwaukee needs to do better, Vince. The city needs you, but I'm not coming back because of my babies. I've raised my kids here, and they're doing very well. And as a parent, and my wife and I have always decided to make sure we lived in an area where we could raise our kids. And so that's been a very important part of being parents, is saying we're not going to live here because of this bullshit, or we're not going to move there because of that bullshit. We made choices. Kamar always talk about choices. We talk about making decisions. When you make decisions, and if you make them from an informed perspective, and you keep who you are and what you want out of life in tune with the decisions you make, you will reap the benefits. And I don't know why because I hear what everybody's saying, but I feel like we're waving a white flag. Well, we can't do shit. Look, America is just too late. It's gone. It's over. Like I feel like all we got to do is stand strong and persevere. Dr. Davis, she said Milwaukee, one of the more dominant places in the world, where they black mayor, sheriffs, attorney general, alderman, etc. But we all for black, but we not doing nothing about the crime. Are we all about it though? Are we all about it? I don't know. She keeps saying we're saying they tricked. I don't know why she keeps saying that.
Just skip that.
Right. Okay. Vince, if anything I can do, please this is Jessica Trace talking to you, Vince. If there's anything she could do to help, please let her know. Hearing you talk about things sadden her heart.
Well, I mean, she can
Terry
inbox me because I'm trying to get together a plan. But let me say this, Kevin, that there is no. I've been in different countries. I've been in the world. When I came back to this country, I don't want to live in white folks' bay. I want to live with my people. So I want to live in garden homes, or I have to find me another black community because I can't see myself separating myself from my people. Period. But I do want to live somewhere where it's safe and we as a people are going to take care of business. That's not happening here because we have too many people that are about these little groups and these making these money for these white people. I see it here and I don't like it and nobody's doing anything about it. I'm just trying to sound the horn and hopefully somebody will listen. And out of these 20,000 people, only 3,000 people vote. There's not much hope in that. And where are the people that says we out here to get people to vote? Nowhere to be found.
Okay.
So I don't see people that really care, genuinely care. I mean, I went to the Pastor Daniel's church and I said, hey, can we have a forum at your church with the candidates? And I intentionally found the lead, what do you call people, the lead person at the church. I saw him sitting up there on the bench. Take it to him. Well, they called me a few days later, said, well, it got caught up in the shuffle and he didn't get the paperwork. And now we can't do it because he's out with the kids and looking at what do you call HBCU colleges. So when we got people at that level that are blocking things from happening and blocking vetting people in the community to let them know there's no hope, Kevin. I mean, not a lot of hope when you've got that many people that are blocking people that are trying to do good.
I just think, and this is what I tell my son all the time. If you as an individual are living your life with the hopes that you can only benefit with what people tell you you can do, you're going to be highly disappointed often because people will not tell you what you can do. Even if they recognize it in the quality in you, it's very rare and for somebody to really tell you, hey man, I recognize what you can do. I think you could take this far. I think you could be great. I think you can be whatever you want to be. So we have to look at this like, I personally as a black man, I look at it like, you don't tell me what I can and can't do. Even if they say, but I'm a gatekeeper, Kev, I got power, I got this, I still will say to them, I don't give a fuck. You can't tell me what I can do. I do what the fuck I want to do. That has always been my attitude. And that's why I say when we talk about stereotypes and we talk about false narratives on the black community, on the black man, I say, okay, I hear you and I raise you, right? When they in a poker game, right? They say, I hear you and I raise you. So when you telling me what I can't do, when every time you tell me about all the negative shit about my people, I start thinking about all the good shit about my people. Now, when I'm ready to have a conversation about what bothers me, I will do so amongst my people at my own behest and at my own pace, pitch, pace, and flow, right? So I think our mentality is what's holding us back more so than anything. As a matter of fact, on Outlaw Radio, we always ask black people to think about this one simple concept, which is how much has been taken away from you versus how much have you given up? A lot of times you assuming somebody's taking something from you and it has not been taken from you. You are weak minded. You are being manipulated. You are being misinformed. You're being misled. Therefore, you have an inferiority complex and it affects your everyday performance, which in turn affects your quality of life. Hate to get on my soapbox, but sometimes it's necessary. I see y'all. I see y'all in the chat room. I ain't gonna even. Kevin LaFleur. He said Vince keeps speaking. He said he's from the neighborhood, Capitol Drive. He said he's 14th to Capitol. Neighborhood, man. I'm Capitol Drive, born and raised, 17th to Capitol. I always say Capitol Drive and Atkinson stand up. I see people saying I see people saying that they're never coming back to Milwaukee. I listen.
Damn.
Listen. I understand. It's an acquired taste, right? My wife moved here from the Twin Cities, and she at first was amazed because we lived in the first district right off Capitol. I call it Chocolate City. Black homeowners, beautiful homes. She was like, "This is amazing. I love it." But then after about 8 months of watching the news and driving around the city, she said, "This some bullshit. I want to get the fuck up out of here." Right? I was born and raised here. This is mine. I'm not listen, I'm not running. I ain't running. I'm gonna get what I gotta have coming to me right here from this turf. I have planted my flag. I'm not running.
Kevin, on a
Man.
bigger issue, one of the problems that we're having, and we're going to continue to have in Milwaukee, I've got two grown kids, and neither one of them live here. My son says he's not coming back here because if he does come back here, he's going to either end up dead or killing somebody. So we have to watch the fact that our kids, and especially the ones that are going to go into college, they're not coming back. So we got a big brain drain that's going on here too. So what's left behind? We're going to leave the people that behind that doesn't have anything. We're not building. These kids are leaving here and they're not coming back because they see a brighter future outside of this city. And when they leave and they come back and they see this, they say, man, what the hell's going on here? Deuces, I'm out. And that's what we're going to have to deal with is this brain drain now.
Well, once again, at first, and I think one of the issues that we kind of missing in what you said is that a lot of kids are not leaving. As a matter of fact, they're not even trying to expand their horizons. They're saying this is all it is. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to do better. This is how my life is supposed to be. Once again, when we have this defeated mentality, it bleeds over through to our kids. And they start to say, ain't shit I can do. I have no power.
Right.
I'm black. I can't have nothing. I can't be nobody. And so I think the kids that aren't leaving are listen. You go off to school, you get your education. This happens in every city. You go off to school, you get your education. Say I want to live somewhere else. Deuces, right? But my thing has always been to anybody who's living currently in this city who consistently says, "I hate this city and I want to leave. I don't care about this city. I hate this city." My thing is, well, get the fuck out then, and move out of the way of people who want to make it what it should be for us, because you blocking progress, right? So, and I understand it. It's like we say, don't leave mad, just leave, right? And so, shout out to Larry Williams. He said this was an engaging discussion, but an amazing show to watch. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Ruben said you got to let that ride. Everybody want to agree with your position. Personally, I don't agree with homosexuality, but who am I? That's between them and the God of their understanding. Yes, sir. Kevin LaFleur said he's in Charlotte, North Carolina. She said diverse and resilient. Byron Terry is laughing his ass off. Said Jessica Trey said facts, Vance. Tasia Marie said she'll never move back. Nick McVeigh said that's 100.
Damn.
Baby. Byron said, what does Milwaukee have to offer other than a Bucks, Packer, or Brewer game win? Kevin LaFleur says he comes back and teaches. My son says what your son says, Vince. So they're agreeing. Dr. Davis says she finished college, bachelor's, master's, and not doctorate, and got the hell out of there, going on 5 years. He said the hood. That's right, man. Capitol Drive. Ruben Anderson said, I left Milwaukee 10 years ago. My return has nothing to do with utilizing my gifts. He said it has to do with utilizing his gifts and talents to affect change. In short, I'm running into the fire. It's my home, and they are my people, and that's the deciding factor. Byron said, play with yourself. Don't play with B. Right? Eric Cavill says she tried not to come back to Milwaukee. It's the worst city she ever lived in. Milwaukee is dirty. But Chicago's dirty too. I mean, every city's dirty. New York is rat infested. Right? I mean, what city? What? See, that's what I keep saying. Like, I understand that there's places where, things move at a different clip, but there's really no perfect place anywhere in America for people of color. So, I mean, you tell me where.
So, Kevin, what you just said, then we should all just fucking leave then America.
Yeah.
Where you going? Where you going?
I'll tell you what, we get treated in other countries a lot better than we're black is everywhere. Everywhere in the world, we are.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, I think black people.
I've even heard from a lot of people who are well traveled that we get treated a lot better in other countries.
A lot better. I'm a testament to that.
I believe black people only come from America. But it's a whole other show, right? Like it's
that's a new one.
So we can go. I can tell you
Kevin,
this.
say that one more time.
Black people only come from America. America. We were created by this race. I ain't black. Listen, this group of people that were stripped of their history, forced to mix together and mash with every other culture, cross-tribal, Native American, whatever. This is unique to us. This is why our DNA and our biology is unique, because we are something new. Black people, Black America. That's who this country is actually our country. So when I see white people who say, go the fuck back to Africa, I say, didn't you say your parents was German? Yeah, well, you take your ass back to Germany. You the motherfucking invader. This my shit. My family was established here. We from the goddamn South. My grandmother came and stayed on Ellis Island. So that means her ass is a foreigner, which makes you a foreigner. So I look at it differently, but I'm a different kind of person, right? And I'm willing to admit that. I'm just saying, Vince. Vince, you know how we get.
Yeah, I'm saying completely, but I think we gotta get out. You're saying this America. I agree with you 1,000%. That I used to think that boys should spend 2 years in the military. I think all boys should spend boys should spend 2 years in a different country to see what it's like to be just a human being.
Yeah, I disagree, because I don't think I don't want my son going to the military.
I'm not saying the military. I'm saying in a different country. I used to think the military.
Okay.
I say in a different country just to see what it's like to be, just to be. I'm not just to be.
Hell yeah, they should. What?
Well, I tell y'all what, man. We got a lot going on. It's 10 o'clock. Our rule of thumb is I will always let you go. If you enjoy what you saw, first of all, share the show. If you disagree, share the show. If you said fuck Kevin, share the show. If you want some hoodies, holla at me, inbox me. If you want to support, and I'm gonna give everybody a chance to sum it up, but I'm saying the most important thing is to support our platform. And because I get tired of seeing platforms or programs of lesser quality getting more credit than we get. So Kamar, what you got popping this weekend is it's warming up, man. It's heating up like NBA jams. What you got
Yeah,
going
it's
on?
warming up, man. I got big plans coming too for the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So, but I ain't got nothing planned this weekend again. But you never know. Stuff pop up for me sometime, man, in a couple days notice type shit.
That's what's up.
So,
I got to get with you too because I got to get some shit from you.
man, I gotta get with you
Real,
too.
real. Kamar, we need to hook up anyways. We got to chop some shit up because I got a bunch of different shit going. Real, what you got popping this weekend, bro?
Same old, man. Running up my TikTok and it is doing very lovely. But that's this conversation tonight is the reason I do what I do. We have a lot of deep ass conversations we need to have to improve the conditions of our community and our people. But before we can have these conversations, it would behoove us to learn emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, critical thinking, and so ain't no point trying to have a discussion when everybody done shut their ears off because they ass hurt in the first 3 minutes. So get my book, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope, available on Amazon. And I'm working on my book right now, 40 Ways to Get $40 to address the issues that we talk about poverty. This book is focusing on 40 ways motherfuckers can run it up on their phone from the comfort of their home. Because hopefully, if more people at home raising their kids, some shit will change around here with these badass kids.
Okay. Juice Lady, shout out to the Juice Lady and the Village organization. What you got coming up this weekend?
Make sure that y'all go to the page for the Village organization and y'all go like it. I do have shit going on. I've been pushing everything back. I got interviews. So Friday, I have an interview with someone from the Biz Stars organization. They want to know about the Alfie's business. Tomorrow, I have an interview with this Rose Grew from Concrete documentary that's being filmed. And basically, it's about trauma and healing from trauma and different things like that. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And lately I've really just been working on the Village organization. The website will be up in a couple of days. I'm getting all my wording and things together, getting all my classes and courses created, and yeah, man, niggas just been busy as shit. Oh wait. Now, next week, everyone, my birthday is next Friday, the 10th. So just know next week will be special episodes. My Cash App will be on the bottom so you all can donate. Yes, we all pretty have a good time, don't we? We want the Juice Lady to have a wonderful weekend, do we not? So, yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna be in Chicago too, so I might be paging them.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
that.
Right, don't do that. Vince, man, we got to write you in. I want you. Let's shine some light on the fact that they can still write you in. So
Yeah.
how can we do this? And I want to commit our platform to helping you do this, to let people know we can still write Vince Tony's name in for first district alderman.
So I think anytime that you see a ballot, you see all of the candidates, and at the bottom there's a write-in spot. So I've contacted the election commission and said that I'm clear for that. And the what I would ask the people on here that wants to help and wants to see change, not just because I'm in a different district, but we're still the same people, that I need help from everybody just to be able to expose what's going on and to have the people that are running for this office to be vetted, just to see who the best person who's going to make a difference, and for it to not to be status quo in this city. Because at some point in time, I don't know when we're going to get tired of that, and to do something new and different. Because I look at the finance reports and I see the people that's been in this district doing the same thing over again, that's funding these people that's running for office. I mean, it's not a lot of money. I only raised about a little over $1,000. They raised $6,000 or $5,000, which isn't a lot of money, but it's the same people, the Marvin Pratts, the Ableys, that's funding these people, that's funded David Crowley downtown. So we're allowing the same people to buy out our people. So I see it again that this is a plantation, and I'm a field nigga.
All right. Listen, I have never, ever, ever been under the assumption that when you start to speak about issues, that there won't be counter opinions. I've never been under the assumption that everybody should agree with me. As a matter of fact, my father used to tell me a lot of times, if everybody in the room agrees with you, you are in the wrong goddamn room. You don't know how to change your way of thinking or to realize that your research or what you're saying needs some tuning, some fine tuning until somebody disagrees with you, until there's a voice counter to yours. However, one of the most key things that we need to develop in our community, and it's not just in regards to this show, it is our ability to listen. Sometimes people think great speakers are great because of what they can say and the words that can come out of their mouths, but a lot of speakers are great because of what they can hear with their ears, the information they could take in, make an adjustment, and put it back out to you in a different way. Okay. So what I'm saying is you have the right to your opinion, but understand it is your opinion. Understand that some people may not agree with you, and we have this philosophy where we must agree to disagree. Now, how does this affect us? Well, it affects us because we live, like Vince said, in a city of silos. We have a bunch of different entities that do not communicate with each other. Therefore, it's easily penetrated, it's easily compromised, it's easily led astray because there's really no unified front. And I think what we have to do is we have to get to the point where we can actually respect each other. Right now, there are a lot of issues that the Black community faces, and each one of us has one that bothers us more than the others. So we want to be heard about our issue, and we want to be the expert, and then we want to be the go-to person for our issue. And then we forget about somebody else has a different issue, and it's just as valid as yours, whether you accept it or not. So I said all that to say the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at. And once people figure out who they're mad at, then we can start to disseminate whose criticism of the community outweighs their contribution. So then we can all unilaterally name them as coons. Appropriate. Y'all Tabernacles can stand up, man. I'll see y'all Monday night. I want to thank y'all for being here. Peace and love, man.
Peace,
Outlaws
peace.
for life, baby. Twist them up,
Peace,
Courtney.
y'all.
Throw them up, Courtney. Throw them up.
Y'all know what it is.